Yeah, this is case number 458 on the calendar in the matter of Bell versus Carper. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks.
How are you related to her?
I'm not related to her. I'm the witness's mother.
Which witness?
Right.
Jessie.
I don't know.
You don't know she's your mother?
No, I do, but I mean, I don't know how this all came about.
I do.
We're going to find out.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Miss Bell.
Yes.
How old are you?
22?
You work?
Yes.
For whom?
My father.
Doing what?
I'm a receptionist of his company. I've been working there for about 5 years.
Is it a successful company?
Yes.
How many children are there in your family?
I have one brother and one sister.
Is your sister younger or older?
She's older. She's 32.
So you're the baby daughter?
Yes.
Pretty one.
Thank you.
According to what I read, you used to be involved romantically with him.
Mm-hmm.
The one who's going to sit up and uncross his arms.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And he was a friend of this one.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So you became a friend of this one.
Well, I was friends with him before Jessie and I actually got into a relationship.
And I gather that your father must have been thrilled with your choice of boyfriends.
Absolutely not.
Now, I could tell that before I even sat down, because these two charmers ended up in jail.
Correct.
For whatever. We'll figure it out. And it is your claim that you loaned Mr. Carper money to pay off his criminal fines.
Correct.
Mr. Carper says that you did pay off his criminal fines, and you did so as a gift because you were a friend of his. He says you were more than a friend of his, that you had a romantic relationship.
We were never boyfriend and girlfriend.
Listen, he didn't say boyfriend and girlfriend, he just says you were intimate with both of them.
No.
And all I can say is yuck. Can you imagine a father who has a company that has enough money to employ a receptionist? And this is the boyfriend and this is the friend that she goes to visit both of them in jail? How many times did you go to visit them in jail?
I never visited them in jail.
Oh, good. At least, thank God for that. What were you in jail for, Mr. Carper?
Personal reasons, ma'am.
Personal reasons is not a criminal offense. Quiet!
I made stupid decisions, Your Honor.
Mr. Carper, when I ask a question, I expect an answer.
Yes, ma'am.
What were you in jail for?
Possession.
Possession of?
Schedule 2 substance.
What kind of substance?
Pills.
Was it the first time you were arrested?
No, ma'am.
And the last time you were arrested was when, sir?
Before I got incarcerated.
When were you incarcerated?
It's March of 2002.
And how long were you in prison?
30 months.
What prison?
Coffeewood and Camp 7.
Are you still on parole status?
Yes, ma'am.
Until when?
It's indefinite.
You're on indefinite parole?
Yes, ma'am.
Fabulous. Now your friend, what's his name?
Jesse Golf.
Jesse. How long have you and Jesse been friends?
Since I was 5 years old, ma'am.
And what was he in prison for?
Assault.
Assault?
Yes, ma'am.
How long had Jesse and Miss Bell been friends?
They had known each other for a long time. I never met her. She said I knew her before they started dating. I never met this girl until I came home. I didn't know who she was. So that's a lie right there.
How long did you think they were involved? He was in prison with you, right?
We were in the county jail together.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
When were you in the county jail together?
2003.
Did he know her then? Were they involved then?
I take it. No, they weren't involved.
No. We were
When
not.
did you first hook up with Jesse?
I started talking to Jessie actually back in high school, about 9th grade.
When did you start to see him romantically?
I want to say July.
And he's just out of jail?
Yes.
You're his mother.
I am.
Sometimes you bake a souffle and it falls. Happens. Tell me about the loan.
I loaned him $4,589 on September 29th to pay off his charges, which I have receipts of.
Well, tell me how it came about that you laid out that money.
Well, I saw him apply after job after job after job, and he kept getting turned down because he didn't have his license. And
What do you mean you saw him?
Well, I would take him and Mr. Goff to apply at jobs. And
Why would you do that?
I was trying to help them out by taking them to fill out job applications so they could get a job, and I didn't want them to get locked back up. And I asked Mr. Carper if I were to pay off his fines, he could get his license and get a job, and if him and Jesse were willing to be my roommates, because I'm going through separations, so
Separation from?
my husband.
You have any children?
I have a 3-year-old daughter.
So you wanted to take your 3-year-old daughter and be their roommate?
Yes.
Who do you live with now?
Now I live with my parents. I'm currently trying to sell.
Stay there, because your judgment is impaired, big time.
recently it has been. I do agree.
If you are a 22-year-old woman and your judgment is impaired and all you're doing is hurting yourself, that's one thing. But to take your 3-year-old child and on purpose move in out of your parents' home into an apartment with 2 convicted felons who were on parole, one for drugs, and I'm not so sure about him now, is the kind of lapsed judgment that your parents aren't going to tolerate.
It's actually a house that I own, and my husband, my ex, moved out, and I could not afford the mortgage, and I actually lived there, and it was either I find some roommates or I try
I
to
don't
sell
care
the
if you
home.
have to live in a shelter. You don't take a 3-year-old child and put a 3-year-old child in a circumstance where you have 2 convicted felons, one of whom was there for pills.
I agree.
Got it?
It was also cocaine.
So you paid off his fines.
Yes.
And how was he supposed to pay you back?
He was going to pay me monthly because I actually charged it on a credit card, and he agreed to pay me monthly. At first, a little bit over the minimum payment, and then, you know, he was going to pay me a lot more.
What were the fines for? Can I see the piece of paper that you have? You think that's a real diamond in his ear?
It definitely is.
I doubt it.
Is that a real diamond in your ear?
Of course, ma'am, I don't wear fake things.
What?
I said I don't wear fake things, just
Could I
is.
see it, please?
You
Yeah,
said
take it out.
Wow.
Thank you. Felony fee, fines, $1,000. Felony fee, $350. Jail admission fee, $25. And court-appointed attorney, $437. Love it. Commonwealth of Virginia. Good for Virginia. And what would happen to you, Mr. Carper, if you didn't pay these fines?
They would probably violate my parole.
And then what would happen to you?
Then I would not see the light of day forever.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Payment of the fine is what?
Punishment.
Right. And if you let somebody else pay your fines, you're allowing somebody else to do your...
Punishment, ma'am.
Is he a quick learner or what?
It's quick.
And later today,
This guy is no good. No bargain, no good, no way.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chastity Bell claims her ex-boyfriend's friend, Anthony Carper, owes for a loan to pay court fines.
What do you think fines are for, sir?
To be paid, ma'am.
Because they're part of your what?
Probation.
Part of your what? Punishment.
Yes, ma'am.
And if somebody else pays your fine, then you have no...
Punishment.
Right. Why do you think a court would allow that to happen?
Because it's the law, ma'am.
What's the law? Why do you think a court would allow somebody else to do your punishment? Let me ask you this, sir. We've already established that payment of the fine is what?
Punishment.
Right. And you're going to jail was a form of...
Punishment, ma'am.
Now, you couldn't say to somebody else, listen, I want you to do me a favor. I don't feel like going to jail. I'm going to go out and sell a whole bunch of pills and maybe a little cocaine, so I'm going to have a couple of bucks, you know. I'm going to give you $10,000 to do my 30 months. You think that the state would permit that to happen?
No, ma'am.
What would the person say to you now? I don't mind going to jail. I have nothing else to do. I could really use the $10,000. I'll go to jail for you for the 30 months. You think the state would permit that?
No, ma'am.
Because then you wouldn't be doing your own.
Punishment.
And if you let somebody else pay your fines, you're allowing somebody else to do your...
Punishment, ma'am.
Is he a quick learner or what? So the first thing you have to do in order to do your punishment is sell your diamonds. That's what the first thing that people do is sell their diamonds, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then they pay the rest of their debt, $4,500. Maybe you can get $89 for this taupe diamond. When did you give him up as a boyfriend?
We weren't really actually together because he's not capable of just having one girlfriend. We were supposedly together for probably about maybe a month.
You are an articulate, nice-looking girl who clearly has very low self-esteem. Because if you didn't have low self-esteem, you wouldn't have been involved with either one of them.
Correct.
You have parents who have a business, you have a child, you've made some bad judgments, but you're only 22 years old. You have the capacity to change. You have anything you want to add to what I've already said?
I do.
I mean, I'm just dying to hear why you would come be her witness if your son is sitting over there.
Because what's wrong is wrong, and you're absolutely right. He's skating his punishment.
You have anything new to add?
I think it's a fine how you do to thank somebody for doing all that she did for you.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. By the way, did she also pay your son's fines?
Yes, she did.
Did he pay her back?
No, we actually go to court for that on March 7th in Prince William County.
Should we just hang out here?
Just a second. Just a second. So why don't you do this? You're his mother, right?
I am.
You made him. You raised him. Why don't you pay his fines?
Because he's 24 years old and I'm not responsible for him anymore.
Right, yeah, I know, but you're more responsible than a stranger. Maybe you should just let
I
him
would
go
not
back
have
to
paid
jail.
his fines in the first place.
You would let him go back to jail?
I would.
You're absolutely right. Sit down. In any event, she paid $4,589 in order to keep you free. I'm entering a judgment for $4,500 and his diamond. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
It is what it is, man. She was messing with him. Me and her had a little thing going on.
I made a mistake by trying to help both of them out, and it blew up in my face.
If me and her would have stayed talking, this would have never came about.
Doesn't matter if he's seeing her or not, the money is still owed.
Money is nothing to me. I'll take care of it.
Picking up the phone the day Jesse called me was one of the biggest mistakes I made.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Murray versus Easton, step forward, please.
23-year-old Lisa Murray is suing her ex-boyfriend, 21-year-old Ish Easton, for the cost of a plane ticket to New Jersey. Ish claims Lisa is being vindictive.
Miss Murray, Mr. Easton and you dated briefly, according to your complaint, and you believe he owes you for an airline ticket that you purchased for him in order that the two of you go home to meet the parents. And then you broke up for the trip. Mr. Easton says that the going home to meet the parents was strictly your idea. He never asked you to buy the ticket. You bought it on your own, so you pay for it, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you meet him?
February 2006. We were working together.
And when did you start dating?
We started dating in the beginning of June 2006.
And when did you want to go and introduce him to your family?
Through the month of June, or in the beginning of July 2006, our relationship became
No.
serious.
You're talking so fast I can hardly understand you. I asked you a simple question. When did you want to take him home to meet your parents?
July 2006.
After 4 weeks? Why?
Well, I had missed my family very much, and he also said that he would like to go. He was excited about going to see New York City and seeing New Jersey.
If he was so excited, why didn't he buy his own ticket?
He currently did not have the money at the time, nor did he have a credit card.
What was the arrangement that you made with him?
That when we came back from our trip, that he would be reimbursing me.
And when did you break up?
September 7th, 2006.
And when were you supposed to go to New York?
September 9th, 2006.
I'll hear you.
After she had initially brought the idea to go visit her parents, I told her then, I was like, well, I don't have money.
No, look at me, look at me.
Oh, I told her then, I don't have money to pay you back for any kind of ticket before we even discussed repaying anything.
Why would you say that to her? I thought you met at work.
This is after we started dating, man.
No, listen to me. You're not listening. You don't have your listening ears on. You said, I don't have any money. And she just told me that you met at work in February of 2006. What kind of work were you doing?
I, at the time, was working at Home Depot, man.
And in July, where were you working?
I worked for a structural engineering firm.
And in August?
Still work there, man.
Okay, so you were working, you were employed.
Yes.
Do you have children?
No, before dating Miss Murray, I was in a previous relationship. Separating from that relationship, I had to move back home. But upon moving back home, my parents were like, well, you got to help pay bills and stuff like that. So I pay half of everything.
So?
Leaving pretty much nothing.
Well, that's not true. You have money to eat out, right?
On occasion, ma'am. And that was money that I was like, Mom, you know, can I borrow $50 to go out or...
Mr. Easton, when you discussed with Miss Murray going to New York, I don't believe that you said to her, I don't have the money to pay you now, and I'll never have the money to pay you back. Because I don't think that under those circumstances she would have continued to see you, because that would have sounded like something a bum would say. I don't have money now, maybe. I'll never have money to pay you back. I wouldn't have taken you to meet my parents. I would have been humiliated to take you. You're a bum. If you say, I'll never have any money to buy an airline ticket for $295. So I don't believe that you said that to her. I believe that you probably said to her, I don't have money to pay for it now. That I believe. Now, when did she buy the ticket?
She called me and was like, I bought tickets to go to New Jersey.
No, you had already discussed it. So don't say it came as a surprise to you. It didn't come as a surprise.
I don't know the exact date of her
When did you
buying
purchase the tickets?
July 25th, I purchased the tickets. I have phone calls.
Shh. And she told you that she purchased them in July?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And you were working in Home Depot?
I was working at Home Depot and the engineering firm at the same
So
time.
2 places.
Yes, ma'am.
What did you do with the ticket?
I was unable to refund it because he broke up with me within 24 hours prior to canceling it.
You have the bill?
Yes.
Why did you break up right before you were ready to leave for New York, sir?
Well, there was a span of like 2 weeks where her and I barely ever saw each other, and that was because my work schedule at the engineering firm went from a regular 8-hour day to 9 to 12-hour days, and I didn't have time to see her. It was work, home, work, bed, pretty much.
Okay.
A gentleman that I play football with, his girlfriend and Miss Murray became very good friends, hanging out, had informed me that the plaintiff had gone to MySpace and read a quote that I'd written on MySpace. And that was one of the first issues. One of the other issues was
Did you say something not nice about her?
I didn't say anything toward her at all. The quote that I left on my page said, "Due to the pain caused by love, to love I say." And that was nothing toward her previous relationship exactly to that. Then it went from that to she had been saying, "Oh, I don't have money, I don't have money, I don't have money." Well, then my friend's girlfriend is like, "Oh, we went shopping today. And Lisa bought this, and Lisa bought that, and Lisa
Why
bought
does
this."
it make any difference to you whether she said, "I don't have money"?
Well, because if you're gonna tell me you don't have money, then how you gonna turn around and go shopping?
She wasn't asking for money from you, was she?
Initially broke up with her because she lies. You can't trust a liar. You can trust a thief because you know they're gonna steal. You can trust a killer, you know they're gonna kill, but you can't trust a liar. I asked her, I said, "Well, did you go on my MySpace page and read that?" She said no. And before that, I said, "Is there anything you want to tell me about that you haven't said to me in the past?" "No, there's nothing I can think of."
You're going to get your $295 back for the ticket. Before you leave, you should get down on the floor, on all fours, kiss the ground, and say, "God, thank you for terminating this relationship, because this guy is no good. I don't know if you're good, but I can tell you right now, he's a bum. He's always going to be a bum, because he makes excuses for what he does that bear no resemblance to reality." That's what he just did. He just gave me a whole cock and bull story. In reality, he probably found somebody else to cover some of his bills. Because when someone is so smitten with a woman, they don't not see them for 2 weeks. They may give up sleeping, but they won't go work, job, work, school, work, and not see the person for whom they have lost their heart. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So he made up a whole big story. Nothing in his story was true. So you're a very lucky girl that you got rid of him, because for somebody who doesn't like lying, he has become very proficient at it. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $295. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out. That's case number 150 on the calendar in the matter of Daly versus Gaib. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Miss Daly, you and the defendant lived together for a period of time, and you have a child together. It is
Yes.
your claim that while you were living together, you covered the expenses for both of you, while Mr. Gaib was not working or not contributing to the household. You want him to cover those expenses.
Yes.
And in addition, you say that because of his bad temper, he punched holes in the walls of the apartment, so that you're going to be charged for that. Now, Mr. Gaib says that there was never a loan. You two people lived together. You covered expenses when he wasn't working. And as far as the holes in the walls, Mr. Gaib acknowledges that he made them.
Yes.
He says that he has an anger problem, and that you know how to push his buttons, so he hit the wall instead of hitting you. For that, he should be praised. Right? When did you move in together, Mr. Gaib?
I believe it was December of last year.
2005?
Yes.
Move in-
2004, December 2004.
And you lived together until when?
Till April of this year.
And when did Mr. Gaib lose his job or become unemployed?
Well, several months after he moved in early 2005,
Did he move into your apartment?
Actually, yes. I was renting a house at the time.
Who were you living there with before he moved in with you?
Myself.
Just yourself?
Yes.
And the lease was in your name?
Yes.
What was your financial arrangement with him?
Well, of course, you know, he's an able-bodied person, and we were going to split the rent.
Is that what you discussed?
Yes.
Did he pay half in December 2004?
Yes.
January 2005?
Yes.
February 2005?
Yes.
March 2005?
Yes.
April 2005?
Yes.
May?
Yes.
June?
Yes.
July?
No.
Okay. July 2005, he stopped paying his half.
Right.
Because he lost his...
He quit his job.
Why did you quit your job, Mr. Gaib?
Well, I didn't quit my job. I kind of, what happened was one guy got blamed of stealing some equipment, and they said it was me. And I told them, no, it wasn't me. So they didn't believe me, so they fired me anyway.
Did you collect unemployment?
No, I didn't.
Well, how'd you support yourself?
Just doing like side jobs. I do construction on the side, just for cash money.
What do you mean for cash money? What does that
like,
mean?
under kind of not taxed or anything like that, so.
Well, but what did you do with the money when you worked? Did you give
Gave
it
it
to
to her.
Miss Daly?
I gave it to her, yeah.
And that was in July?
Yeah. I gave her all my money, everything.
Well, good. And what about in August? Did he pay you in August?
Yes.
September?
Yes.
October?
Mm-hmm.
November?
Mm-hmm.
December?
No.
Did he pay you in January
No.
of 06? February of 06?
No.
Why don't you throw him out?
Well, because he was the father of my son, and
Right.
the thing is that he was needing help. I thought I'd help him out because he had a lot of issues.
He certainly has issues.
Psychological issues or something, and I thought if I helped him, he'd turn things around and we could be a family together.
Well, he didn't.
Well, he kept promising me that he'd turn things around and he'd take these courses, and so I kept...
You mean anger courses?
Not just anger courses, other courses, couples therapy, we tried that. We also went to a couple different mental hospitals to get him some pills to make his anger
You
more
working
controlled.
now, Mr. Gaib?
I'm in between jobs.
How are you supporting yourself?
I'm helping a lady finish her house construction.
Where are you living?
Linwood.
With whom?
Her and her son.
With a lady?
Yeah.
Mr. Gaib, I want you to tell me, sir, about the holes that you punched in the walls of Miss Daly's house.
Basically, every day I'd come home from work or wherever, Christina, she would just follow me with all these complaints, you know. And we'd have our sit-down time for a couple minutes, you know. But then she would just follow me, complaining about everything, you know. And I just, okay, I told her I would try to help. I'd try to fix it. Then, I don't know, I just started losing my temper after a while. And then I would try to go to another room. She would follow me there. And it got to a point where I just kind of lost my temper a few times.
Do you have an estimate for the damage to the house?
Yes, I do.
Can I see it, please?
Do you want to see photos or just estimates?
Sure.
Okay, here's the photos.
Did you knock down a couple of doors, sir?
No.
What were the doors?
The person that gave me an estimate said the holes are pretty big and it'd be better if he replaced the doors instead of patch them up because he said it wouldn't look right. They're huge holes. They're like about this big.
You mean in the doors?
Yeah.
Did you break a mirror in the closet?
No, she said I did. She's lying. No, I didn't.
When did he break
I'm
the mirror
positive
in
of
the
that.
closet?
He got mad and he took it by his hands and went like this and shook it and it cracked it into the...
All right.
How many times?
Mr. Gaib, first of all, I agree with your defense, sir, that you don't owe her any money for expenses when you were living there. If she chose to allow you to continue to remain in the house while you were unemployed and she thought that you would get your life together, she did so because you were a couple and she thought that you were building a life together. That's not something that creates a lawsuit. However, you are responsible for the damage that you did to the apartment when you were in these rages because you don't get a medal for hitting the walls instead of hitting her. You understand that?
Yes,
And you think that that's reasonable, right?
somewhat.
Well, I think it's reasonable. But there's a larger issue, Mr. Gaib. Are you currently in therapy?
No, I'm not.
You understand that you probably need therapy.
Yes.
Is there any reason why you are not in treatment? Is it because you can't afford it?
No, it's free. I just, I missed my last appointment and I never rescheduled.
Were you at any time on medication?
Yes,
When did you go off your medication?
when I ran out.
When did you
About
run?
a month ago.
A month ago.
He quit taking them.
Shh. How long had you been on the same medication, Mr. Gaib?
About 4 months.
You were working with a therapist?
Yes,
Was the medication helping you?
yes.
Do you remember what kind it was?
Prozac.
When you ran out, why didn't you go back to the therapist, Mr. Gaib?
I don't know. I don't know.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You need to see a therapist and get back on that medication. You have to do it, Mr. Gaib. It's not fair to you, and it's not fair for the children that you brought into the world. Please?
And later today,
Where is he?
I don't know. He's hanging out somewhere around.
Well, what'd you bring him for?
Going to LA with the guy that's gonna hang out.
There are days I like this job better than others.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christine Daly claims the father of her child, Henry Gaib, owes for household bills and repair costs resulting from his anger problem.
Okay. How old are you?
37.
You have any family here?
My dad and aunt and uncle.
Do you have a relationship with your father?
Not really.
Aunt and uncle?
No.
I'm telling you, someone who's, been around the block a little bit, you need to see a therapist and get back on that medication. Made you feel better? You have one child?
Two.
Two. You owe them the ability to interact with them peacefully. You have to feel comfortable yourself. You have to feel as if you have a certain center in your life so that you can work, not have fights with people at your jobs. And if that means that you have to be in therapy where it's free and you can get this medication, which is also available to you, you have to do it, Mr. Aggie. It's not fair to you. And it's not fair for the children that you brought into the world. Please? In the meantime, you have to pay for the holes in the wall, $745. That's all. Thank you.
There's a truck payment involved. He hasn't paid for his truck. I co-signed for his truck. I paid over $2,000 in truck payments.
That may be. And what you have to do is you have to have the truck repossessed.
He won't give it back to me. I tried twice.
You have a bank loan?
Yes, but that'll ruin my credit. They said that if it was voluntary repossession, it would ruin my credit.
That may be. I can't help you with that because in order to cover the shortfall in the payments, you have to have the truck repossessed and sell it.
But that'll ruin my credit, though.
Well, I can't help that, madam. Then you have to think about that before you co-sign for a truck for him. You're a grown-up girl.
I know, but he wrote me a promissory note, which he stole back from me, saying that I wouldn't have to make any payments.
What you have to do is notify the lending company to repossess the truck because you will no longer be making payments. And I would do that as quickly as possible before the debt becomes greater, because the quicker they repossess the truck and the quicker they sell it, the less money you will owe.
So I'm being stiffed for rent and truck payments and everything else?
No, you're not being stiffed for the rent.
I am, because no one's paying for this.
He's paying for the damage that he did.
That's nothing compared to what I paid for rent and the truck payments.
Are you living in the same house?
Not anymore.
You're not living in the house anymore?
What happened was we moved out together at a second residence. He moved in December. We moved into the new place in July. He got under the lease with me in the new apartment, and that's when he started to not work and he didn't pay me.
Yeah, she changed the locks on Easter on me too.
Well, he
illegally.
was a domestic violence. He hit me, and I called the police out, and they had to come and get him, and he ran away. And the social services stepped in and said that if I let him back in the house, how am I supposed to protect my son from him?
You're absolutely right.
I had to let him know that he couldn't come back.
Right.
But you know what it is? When you trust someone and you love someone and he promises to pay you, I mean, isn't that what a relationship's all about, where you're supposed to hopefully believe that the person's going to come through every time they promise you something?
If you let him go and let him go and let him go and he doesn't pay, and you let it go and you let it go because you're hoping things are going to turn around, there comes a point where he doesn't believe and has no sense of his responsibility. And what you did was, according to your complaint, you said to him, we'll straighten out when you get your act together. He's never going to get his act together unless he gets back on therapy and back on his medication. Do you understand? It's not going to happen. So unfortunately, your credit may be ruined, but you have to notify the lending company to repossess the truck. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $745. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Which way do we go?
He owes me money. He's not paying child support. I don't see why he should be able to come see his son.
She can't say that. That's my son, you know?
He punched holes in the walls, and watching someone do that on a daily basis, you don't think that's abuse?
She's trying to change me. She's trying to mold me.
It's not like I'm telling him he needs to change. He was needing help because he had problems, issues, of course.
She's psycho.
He's done enough damage to last quite a long time.
We'd start arguing. I would try to walk away into a different room, but she would follow me right behind me, just like a little bird or something.
He's ruining my life as we speak.
Is she gonna put a hit on me or what? I mean, I don't know.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Doherty versus Candell. Step forward, please.
20-year-old Jennifer Doherty is suing her ex-boyfriend, 23-year-old Michael Candell, for money owed on a credit card. Jennifer claims she used her credit to help Michael pay off his debt.
He used to be your boyfriend. According to my complaint, you tell me that you consolidated all of his high-interest credit cards on a new credit card that was a low interest rate, unfortunately, in your name. Then you broke up.
Yes, we did, Your Honor.
And according to you, he didn't pay you.
Yes, he paid me $300 of the balance.
Mr. Candell says that Candell?
Yeah. Yes, Your Honor.
Says that he paid you back everything that you agreed on. How long was he your boyfriend?
3 years.
Do you work?
Yes, I do.
What kind of work do you do?
I am a nursing assistant at a Frankfurt Torso hospital, and I'm a cake decorator at a local bakery, and I babysit part-time. And I'm going into my senior year of nursing school.
And what about you, sir?
I bartend, and I work at a hospital doing transportation.
Who do you live with?
I live with my mom and my 2 brothers.
So you don't have big expenses.
No, I give my mom money each month to help.
How much?
Usually $250 a month. Plus, I pay for a car.
Whose car?
Well, it's in my mom's name, but I pay for it.
Because you drive it.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Now tell me why you got yourself in the hole with these credit cards, sir.
Well, I wasn't really in the hole. I was able to afford them each month. We were going on a trip. Well, my friend was getting married in Jamaica. She wanted to go out. I told her I didn't have the money. I was waiting for my income tax check to come in to help pay off the bills. And she's like, well, I want to go. I'll pay for it, like, as a present. So I was like, all right, that's fine.
Just a minute. This is your friend who's getting married in Jamaica.
Yeah, well, we're both our friends.
Your friend or hers?
My friend, but she's friends with him through me.
When was the last time you saw this friend?
Yesterday.
When was the last time you saw this friend?
This morning, because he's here.
Really? He's here for what?
I guess support for him.
Where is he?
Somewhere around, I don't know. He's hanging out somewhere around.
Well, what'd you bring him for?
Just for going to L.A. It was like, all right, let's go hang out.
There are days I like this job better than others. Okay, so it's your friend, and you saw him this morning?
Yes.
Here?
Yes.
You didn't see him yesterday?
No.
No. You brought him out here, so I assume he remains your friend. You've got custody of him after the breakup. And you were expecting an income tax check.
Yeah. Yes.
But she said, I'll give you this trip to Jamaica as a present.
Yeah. Yes.
And how much were you getting back?
$1,100 and some odd dollars.
What did you do with the income tax refund?
It went right into her bank account.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh, great. How much was put all on this one credit card of hers that had low interest?
I think it was like $1,800 and some dollars.
How much was it?
It was $2,336.78.
Show him.
Yeah, I don't wear Victoria's Secret, though.
No, that's mine. That's why it's not highlighted.
Just the highlighted items, sir. Read just the highlighted items.
Now?
To yourself.
Okay.
Now, do any of those highlighted items look as if they're not your charges?
Well, the one thing is the Sprint Wireless. I gave her money back. I paid her that aside, like we were agreed on $100 a month, and I gave her that back.
So you want me to deduct the Sprint Wireless from that? Is
Sure.
that right?
Yeah. Yes.
And how much is the Sprint Wireless?
$214.61.
Okay. Anything else there that doesn't look right?
No. That's
All
about
looks
it.
right then. Okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Mr. Kendall, I just have a question. Does your hair do that naturally, or do you have to work on it in the morning?
Oh, it's hard.
Hard. Okay. Now, how much did you pay her back?
Well, the $1,100 from my income tax. And
Did she give you back $1,100 for his income?
No, we did not. I went towards to pay off the trip. I did not take him for a present to his friend's wedding.
No, I don't believe that you did. There's no question in my mind that you did not take him as a present to his friend's wedding.
Exactly.
Okay. How much was the trip to Jamaica?
$1,640 apiece.
$1,640. And how much did he pay you back for that?
He gave me $1,100 towards it, and then he paid the rest himself.
He did pay the rest
Yes,
himself?
he did.
Okay, so we're just talking now about the credit card.
Yes, we are.
Mind.
What?
I didn't pay the other $500.
Yes,
she
you
paid
did.
Shh. What other $500?
The $1,100 I gave her out of the income tax check. She paid the other $500. I never paid that.
Yes, you did. You gave me money.
Shh. Don't answer him.
Okay.
Well, you don't want me to make an order for more money, do you?
I mean, it was she told me, she's like, I'll take you out here,
Listen to me. I don't believe she took you as a present to your friend's wedding.
Okay.
I want you to understand that. We're moving on from that. Now, she's only dealing with the credit card bills that you looked at, which total, according to you, deducting the Sprint, $21.22. Did you pay her any money from that?
Yes.
How much?
I was giving her $100 each month.
For how long?
3 months. I gave her $300 so far.
Well, if the trip to Jamaica was $1,640 and you gave her $1,100, and you gave her an additional $300, that's $1,400. You still owe her a couple $100 for Jamaica, plus the $2,122.
But the Jamaica thing was a trip. The thing is, with that...
I just told you.
I understand, but the thing is, once we broke up, she started sleeping with one of my friends, and
No, it has nothing to do with that.
She basically, we had a breakup, and she...
Listen, my microphone went over here where it shouldn't be. Mr. Candel, I don't care whether she slept with the King of Siam. I'm talking about 2122 in credit card bills, sir.
I thought it was 2036.
2122. I've given you credit for the Sprint bill.
Oh, okay, cool.
2122. Judgment for the plaintiff. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Parties are excused when they step out.
I'm just glad it's over and done with.
Your Honor, case number 495 on the calendar in the matter of Dye versus Springer. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a model.
You make a lot of money?
It's average. I wouldn't say a lot.
Well, give me an example. You filed your tax returns last year. What did you earn in your tax returns last year?
I just started modeling like maybe 3 months ago.
Well, then what did you do last year?
I worked at Dillard's.
And how much did you earn at Dillard's last year?
$5,000. I didn't work many hours.
Well, where did you live?
In San Angelo.
With whom?
The defendant, Jeffrey Scott Springer.
I'm sorry.
Was he supporting you?
Yes, ma'am.
Because you certainly weren't supporting yourself,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Springer, what do you...
I'm listening. I'm sorry. I mean...
What do you do for a living, sir?
I work in a call center.
Call center?
Yes, ma'am. For Progressive Insurance.
And how long have you been doing that?
I've only been doing that for about 3 months in Austin.
Sir, what I want you to do is tell me, Mr. Springer, what you were doing last year when you were supporting Miss Dye.
I worked for Capital One at a call center also.
They didn't do that commercial that they do and fashion it after you, did they?
No, ma'am.
Adorable. You were supporting the plaintiff when you were living together?
That would be correct.
How much did you earn?
$25 a year.
$25,000?
That'd be correct.
Allowed you to buy that beautiful gold chain that you're wearing that's blinding me. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, Miss Dye, so he's supporting you for the year, right?
Yes, ma'am. But before last year, I also worked at a gym. I managed a gym in San Angelo.
$425 ain't supporting nothing, so I don't see where you get...
$6, thank you.
$6. Keep you in mascara.
$6.
Now, this is your claim. Your claim is that you purchased, on your credit, new rims and wheels for him.
I financed them for him.
Did you use a credit card?
No, ma'am.
Did you pay cash?
No. I went to Credit World with him in San Angelo.
It's a rent to own.
A rent to own.
There you go.
Because that's something that nobody can do without. New rims and wheels, right, Bert?
Rent to own rims and
Rent
wheels.
to own rims and wheels.
I have a picture of it.
You want to know something? I don't need to see it. Unless they have a picture of a bird in the middle, I'm not interested in taking a look at it. Because I think that's the most ridiculous thing. You know, I can understand if you buy new tires because your tires are bald and you need tires to get around, but somebody who earns $4.25 an hour and somebody who is supporting two people on not a lot of money doesn't need fancy spokes for their car. You know, you should put away some money maybe for college education.
That would be why she was getting supported by me, is because she was going to college.
Good. Anyway, you financed these rims and wheels. You paid some of it off, but when you broke up, he stopped paying the rest.
Correct.
No, my arm is hurt. I can't.
Rest it on the table, sir.
It's
Don't
hard.
cross your arms. What?
It's hard.
It's hard?
I mean, go
then
ahead.
just suffer for a while you're here.
Oh, I'd be more than happy to try to.
Good. Did you pay for some of these rims and wheels?
Yes.
How much did you pay?
Everything but the $12.56.
Okay, so why don't you owe her for the rest?
As we broke up, I moved back to Austin. I went to jail for driving on a suspended license. I informed her that I was not going to pay for the car. I called the dealership. They had impounded the car. I informed her that I needed the manufactured tires back to give the dealership so I could get those tires back and give them either to her or to Credit World. She no longer had the manufactured tires. So she didn't give them to me. They gave me 20 days to pick them up off that vehicle. She never gave me nothing, so I could not get them.
So your defense is that you contacted her after how long?
4 or 5 months, maybe.
And then you called her and you said, listen, if you want the rims and wheels, because they're going to repossess the car, you have to come down with the original ones.
Correct.
Where were the original ones?
They gave me 20 days.
No.
I'm not sure where the original was.
Well, what did you expect her to do? Hold on to the original ones forever?
Well, most people hold on to their manufacturer.
Most people hold on to their rims. I'm going to tell you something.
The manufacturers.
I'm going to tell you something. Mr. Springer, without going into make and model, suffice it to say, sir, that I have a lot of cars. I have never held on to, well, not only have I never held on to rims and wheels, I've never bought rims and wheels. I buy a new car. Car comes with wheels. That's what's on the car. That's what I drive. They're round, they work, that's fine.
That's true.
How many rims and wheels do you have in your garage?
Just sitting there off the car.
Off the car?
None.
None. You want to know why? Because we have other junk to put in garages. You know, where are you supposed to put the bicycles and the trash cans?
And the cars.
And the cars. So, Mr. Springer, let us assume, well, I can't tolerate him. Sorry.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
We would like to know, what is it you take?
What do you mean, what is it I take?
You seem to be so happy. Do you take a special kind of coffee or tea? Do you drink a special kind of juice?
And later today,
My first child, I gave up to adoption. And she came to me and said that since I did not have a car, that if I gave my child to her friends, she would give me the car.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Christy Dye claims ex-boyfriend Jeffrey Springer owes for new wheels and tires. Jeffrey says he supported Christy for 2 years.
Mr. Springer, I want to ask you a question. Sometimes I wake up in a bad mood. Now, I know that that might be hard for you to believe. It might be hard for the rest of the world to believe that sometimes I wake up in a bad mood. And I might venture to say sometimes Officer Petrie Hawkinsburg might wake up in a bad mood. Sometimes. Not often, but sometimes. We would like to know, what is it you take, sir?
What do you mean, what is it I take?
You seem to be so happy, sir.
Yeah, I mean,
you seem to be inordinately happy.
It's hilarious to me that she's suing me over $1,200.
You seem to be happy under the most dire circumstances.
Yeah.
So we would like to know, do you take a special kind of coffee or tea? What mixture do you take in the morning? Do you drink a special kind of juice? Do you eat a special kind of cereal in the morning to make you as happy as you are?
No, I'm happy individual.
You're happy? I hope you're happy. All the way to the bank where you're going to send her $1,257.03. Because I don't think I don't think that she has to hold on to your old rims in case your car gets impounded. Goodbye, Mr. Springer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Parties are excused.
You gotta be
Step
kidding
out.
me. $1,200? My chain costs $1,200, boss man.
I'm pleased. I mean, he owed me the money, and I'm glad it's over and done with, and we can both go on with our own lives.
It's not petty to her, because she needs the $1,200. I don't need it.
We were together, and we were in a relationship.
I don't feel like I owe her anything.
I'm a nice person, and I mean, I try to do a favor for someone, and look what happened.
If anything, she owes me.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Breeden versus Dryby. Step forward, please.
23-year-old Michelle Breeden is suing her mother, Ollie Strybe, for breaking their agreement regarding the sale of a home. Michelle says Ollie kept proceeds that were supposed to go to her.
Ms. Breeden, the defendant is your mother. You and your husband and child or children?
2 children.
2 children. Moved into a home that your mother bought, and the idea was that you would live there with an option to buy it. Such time when your credit became substantial enough for you to get a mortgage and your finances sort of settled down. While you were living there, you claimed that you made certain improvements in the house, invested close to $4,000. And then, according to you, your mother decided that since the housing market had taken off, she was no longer interested in selling you the house at the price that she had paid for it, which was your agreement. But she wanted to sell it on the open market, which she did at a profit, and you believe that she should pay you for the money that you invested in improving the house.
Yes, sure.
That's the lawsuit.
Yes.
Your mother says that you and your husband, was it your husband, separated. You were no longer interested in purchasing the house. You moved out. She did, in fact, sell the house at a profit, but it is her claim that you were the one who told her, I can't buy the house anymore because we're separated. So she sold the house to somebody else. When did you purchase this house, Miss Strybey?
In April 2004.
And how much did you pay for it?
$102,500.
And what was the financial arrangement with your daughter with regard to how much rent she was going to pay?
She agreed to pay the mortgage payment on the house.
Which was how much, Miss Breeden?
It was just shy of $900, Your Honor.
Okay. I'd like you to tell me when you were advised by your mother that she was planning on selling the house.
I was advised about 6 months prior to moving out that she was going to sell the house because she was no longer interested in selling us the house at what she paid for it. She was interested in making a profit off of us and wanted to sell the home to us for nearly $160,000.
That wasn't the original
Just a
agreement.
second. Did you discuss that with your mother? You said you found out. Did you have a conversation with her?
Yes, I had a conversation with Ollie. I told her that I couldn't make payments on $160,000, so we decided that we were no longer going to buy it because she wanted so much more for it.
Okay. Now, what was your arrangement with your mother at the time she purchased the house?
When she purchased the house, she was going to let us move into it. We were going to cover the mortgage for 1 year, and then after 1 year, we were going to try to get our finances in a situation that we could get appropriate financing.
And what happened in 2005?
Right after my second child was born, we went in to get a mortgage. It was not satisfactory. We discussed renting it longer from her. That was fine with her. A couple months into 2005, she was trying to buy another home for herself. So she discussed selling the home if we could not buy it from her. I said, well, we've already put nearly $4,000 worth of our own money into it. And if you sold it, I would at least like to get that money back out of it to use as a down payment if we chose to move somewhere else. That was fine with her. We moved out the end of February, and she put the house on the market in March. It took her till November 1st to sell the home.
Gotcha.
When she sold the home, I came to her halfway through November, and she said something about she didn't want to discuss it through the holidays, so I came back to her at the beginning of January of 2007. By that time, she said that she didn't have the money and that she thought that since she had to pay the mortgage from the time we moved out to the time it sold, that she believed she no longer owed us the amount that we were asking for.
Gotcha. Okay. Now we'll hear you.
Michelle and her husband were expecting their second child and living in a hotel. And although Michelle and my husband doesn't get along very well, I didn't want them to be living in a hotel when
I
the second
understand.
child.
So you
we
made this
bought
arrangement.
this house for them.
Got it.
The arrangement was that she would pay the mortgage payment for the year.
I got it so far. There are certain things that are not contested. You were a nice mom, bought the house, let them live in it, covered the mortgage payment, and then there came a time when you wanted to buy another house. You couldn't buy another house because you already had this house. So let's go.
The arrangement was for her to buy the house at the end of a year. I told her I'd give her a year.
She
So
said that.
at the end of that year, she didn't have her finances fixed.
Got it. That's what she said.
So her husband had moved out. She said that she couldn't afford to make the payments anymore with him paying for someplace else to live, and that she was fine with me going ahead and putting the house on the market, and that they would move out. Our original agreement for the year was, at the end of the year, if I sold her the house, I would credit her how much she's paid for the mortgage, so that would cover her 10% down she needed to buy it herself.
I'm talking about the $3,900 that your daughter says you discussed at the time she moved out, that she had invested in improving the house, and that you had said to her, the time when the house is sold, I'll give that back to you.
I don't remember that conversation, not when she was moving out. I only discussed with her when we first bought the house that any improvements she made in the house at that time, if she didn't buy the house, I would pay her back for it at the end of the year.
Oh, fine. So that discussion was had. Fine. Let me see what you put into the house. How much did you sell the house for, Ms. Strybey?
$149,500.
Okay. What did you tile?
We tiled about 1,000 square feet, the kitchen, the living room, the dining room, both bathrooms, and a hallway. The only thing in the house that wasn't tiled was the 3 bedrooms.
She bought the tile and I put it down.
It's fine. You got the profit. How much did you clear, Ms. Strybey?
Altogether, we probably made about $20,000 off the house.
Okay.
And I did give her, during this period when we were selling the house, they had repossessed her van and she had no transportation. So I signed over my 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee to her.
That agreement for that Jeep has nothing at all to do with the home. My first child, I gave up to adoption within this period of time. And
This
I
had
was
nothing
going
to do with the adoption.
I was going to give it to a couple that was in Miami that I did not know. And she came to me and said that since I did not have a car, that if I gave my child to her friends, she would give me the car, and her friends are very good people. But that was the agreement for the Jeep, and that has nothing at all to do with this home.
That's not true. I would never offer to sell my grandchild. That was what he needed, because he had already been taken out of her possession once and placed with me for custody.
How old is he?
He's 6. He's 2 weeks younger than my 6-year-old. I have a 6-year-old as well. And during this period, which is why the husband moved out, is because he was taken away from them and put in my custody.
This still has nothing to do with the house, Your Honor.
It did, and that was the point where she couldn't afford to make the payments anymore.
Where is your husband now?
My husband right now is in Cocoa, Florida.
Do you live with him?
No, I do not.
Who do you live with?
I live with 2 roommates, and I cover a third of the rent. My friend Lisa and her husband cover a third of the rent, and then my brother-in-law and his wife cover the other third of the rent.
Are you still married?
Yes, I am, Your Honor.
This arrangement just happened within the last few weeks because her husband's been in jail.
At the time that you were living in this house, who was working, you or your husband?
My husband was working, and I owned my own business.
What kind of business?
It was a children's consignment shop.
That I helped her open.
So you were both working?
Yes.
So whatever money you invested in the house, you would only be entitled to half of this. Is that right? The other half would be your husband's?
Yes, Your Honor, if you want to look, yes, that would be correct.
Okay. You think your mother has been reasonable or unreasonable with you?
I think my mother has been selfish and incapable of being a mother.
In the relatively short time, Ms. Strybio, that I have to spend with you, I'm never going to be able to figure out the pathology of your family.
Mm-hmm.
But it clearly seems to me that your daughter, whether rightfully or wrongfully, labors under the assumption that you had an agreement, which I find to be potentially a valid agreement, that whatever improvements they put into the house that might inure to your benefit when you sold the house, you would reimburse her for if the house wasn't sold to them. That's a reasonable expectation. And truth is, you sold the house for a profit. And if it were me, I would have said, you know what? She's not in great shape. Let me give her what she put into it and let her move on. That's what I would have done.
I did offer, when she started looking for another home right away, I went out with her, and I was more than willing to help her find another home. And if she at some point in the future, was going to buy one, her father and I had already discussed, we would each pay half the deposit. I've given her lots of money.
I've
assume given
that that's
her,
true.
But I've always made her pay me back, and I think she's very ungrateful.
Okay. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $19.50, which represents 1/2 of the amount that you invested in the house. The other half is not your claim, belongs to your husband.
Okay.
Got it? Good. Thank you. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I've been given
2 and 6:04 on the calendar. One in the matter of M. Zamora versus Jones. The other one in the matter of R. Zamora versus Jones. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
According to your complaint, you and the defendant were living together. You planned on getting married. Didn't work out. He moved out.
Right.
You claim he owes you some money for some rent, some bills, and in addition, shortly after he moved out, he came back, there was an altercation, and he injured you, and you want him to pay your medical bills.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when did he move out?
He moved out in June of '99.
And what month's rent do you claim he owes you?
Last month's rent.
Which month?
October.
But he wasn't living there.
No. His name was still on the lease, so I expect him to still pay half.
And how much was the rent?
The rent was $430.
Okay. Now, what kind of damage did he do when he moved out?
While he was leaving, police officers were present because previous altercations between us, after he did leave, there were damages done to the apartment.
After he left?
Right after he took all the furniture and everything out with him.
Like what kind of damage?
Holes burnt in the carpet, holes in the walls. I have pictures if you would like to see.
I'd like to see the pictures, and I would like to see the landlord's estimate. Have you moved out of the apartment?
Yes, I have.
When did you move out?
I moved out in October.
Now tell me about the next part of your lawsuit, which has to do with an assault.
He came to my apartment after he had left. He had heard rumors that I was seeing somebody new and got jealous.
When was that?
This was in September. He came to my apartment. We got into an argument. We ended up outside, and an altercation happened between us.
Well, tell me about it.
I was arguing with his new girlfriend, and he grabbed me by my arms, putting multiple bruises on me, which I also have pictures of. We were pushing and shoving, and my knee popped. The ambulance was called. I went to the emergency room.
Well, how did your knee get popped?
He pushed me.
Not true at all. Not true at all, Your Honor.
How did he push you?
When he had grabbed me by my arms, I was trying to make him let go of me. I tried to get away. He grabbed me from behind with his right hand around my throat. When I was trying to get away from that, I was twisting and turning since he had a hold of me, and that resulted in my knee popping.
Were you fighting with his girlfriend?
No, I was not.
Were you fighting with him?
Yes, I was.
How were you fighting with him?
Trying to get his arms off me.
How did you get outside?
I was trying to get him out of my apartment.
How were you doing that?
He tried to shove his way in my door, and I told him to leave. It resulted in a fight. He tried to steal my cat, try to get my cat back. After that, that's when he grabbed me by my arms and then grabbed me from behind with his...
How did you try to get your cat back?
Just ran after him.
Were you arrested for that?
No, ma'am, I was not.
Were you taken into custody?
No, ma'am.
No charges were ever filed with regard to that case?
Later on, about a month later.
I pressed charges the same day, Your Honor.
About a month. It was about a month later. I've received a phone call from my father at work. Said that there was police officers came for a warrant. I turned myself in, and then it proceeded from there. I had to go to court for it and everything.
Well, that's what I want to know. You did go to court. Did you have a lawyer?
Yes, I did.
Did you appear before a judge?
Yes.
Was the case resolved?
Yes.
How was it resolved?
I had deferred prosecution, where I had to stay away. We had to both stay away from each other for 180 days. If no altercations were occurred in 180 days, then the case was dismissed.
You may call it a deferred prosecution, but it really is a period of 6 months probation.
Okay.
Did your lawyer explain that to you?
No, he didn't explain it to me fully. Like I said, he said I had no charges were pending or anything like that. The prosecutor informed me that there wasn't enough evidence and I had too many witnesses.
Don't tell me what the prosecutor told you about not enough evidence. There wasn't enough evidence. You should have insisted on a trial. Then you would not have had a 6-month probationary period. What did you go to her house for in September?
I was with her sister and my girlfriend here. We went to her house. I dropped her sister off. She said she had to talk to her. And at that time, we had a cat that I got, and it was running around in the stairs. It ran up the stairs. I followed the cat. She was already talking to her sister at the time with the door open. I went up there to get the cat. I picked up the cat. Then the man that moved in with her after I left the place started saying stuff to me, arguing with me. Then she proceeded to argue with me. She came at me, smacked me in my face, started punching me in my chest.
Not true.
I went to walk away. Her sister grabbed her, told her to leave me alone, to let me go. I grabbed the cat, proceeded down the stairs, got all the way outside of the apartment building. She ran past me, went to my car where my girlfriend was sitting. The window was cracked. She was talking on her cell phone. She proceeded to stick her hands through the window, the cracked window, grabbed her by the hair,
Not true.
and started pulling her out through the window.
Did that happen?
Yes, it did.
Go ahead.
That time she grabbed her, I told her to let her go. I did grab her arms to pull her hands away from her hair. I said, let go of her hair, let go of her hair. She said, no, I'm not going to let go. I said, let go of her hair and I'll let you go. She finally let go of her hair. I backed away, and then she proceeded at me again to hit me. She got out of the car. Then Monica proceeded to go after her. When she started proceeding to go after her, she hurt her knee, fell down.
Your Honor,
Then the
I have
ambulance was
pictures
called.
of the multiple bruises that were on my arms that he gave me.
Oh, I'll take
And
a look
there's
at
no
them.
other way I could have gotten these.
I'll take a look at them. How do you think that happened, Miss Zamora? How do you think these black and blue marks happened?
By him. He gave them to me.
How?
By grabbing me and holding on to me.
Mm-hmm.
He's done it for 5 years. It wasn't the first time.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Monica Zamora says her ex-fiancé, Ronald Jones, owes her for rent and for medical bills resulting from an altercation. Ronald says Monica slashed his furniture and slandered his name on the internet.
All this isn't as clear as you make it appear. I want you to know that I understand that. He says that there was another person that moved into the house shortly after he left.
He lied
So I'm
about
go-
that.
Just a second. Did you at that time have some other person, a male, staying over occasionally at your house?
No, ma'am. Never did he stay one night. Yes, I started seeing somebody. This is the reason he came to my apartment.
I mean, I don't see why he would come over there with his new girlfriend.
His new girlfriend is my new boyfriend's ex-girlfriend.
So
That's the
what?
reason they're together.
So what?
There was nobody staying with me.
Listen to me.
I had 3 jobs to pay my bills.
Listen to me. He didn't come over there because he was jealous. He may have come over there because his girlfriend said to him, why are you being such an idiot and paying the rent when he's staying over there with her? Now, that may or may not have been true. Certainly, he was there on that September day when this altercation took place. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Put your hand down. You know, you have to be objective even with regard to your own children, right? Now, I want to know why you went outside.
He took my cat and grabbed it. That was a gift to me.
So you went outside after him?
Yes, I did.
And are you telling me you never went over to his car?
No, I didn't. I didn't even
Step
see.
up.
Didn't even see his car.
Step up. Tell me your name.
Jennifer.
Jennifer what?
Martinez.
I want you to tell me about this day in September of 1999, if you can recall it.
Well, like Ron said, I was sitting in the car talking on my cell phone. The window was cracked about maybe this much, and she reaches her hand in the car and says, get out. And she's grabbed me by the side of my hair. She has me by the side of her hair. I asked her, what are you doing? She said, get out. So she reaches her other hand, and at this point in time, both arms are in about this deep. She busted my face on the left
Why didn't you
side
press
underneath
charges?
my eye. At that time, Ron went over there. He was like, look, let her go. There's no need for this. We're leaving, we're leaving, we're leaving. So she's like, no, get her out of the car. I want to beat her up and so forth and so on for whatever reasons of her own. To this day, I don't know. Fine. So she tries to get me out of the car. So I told her, how am I going to get out the car out of a crack of a window? Let me open the door. So she's all pressed up against the door.
Okay, that's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. Sit down.
Thank you.
Sit down. I want to hear something, Mr. Jones, about your countersuit.
Okay.
You say that Ms. Zamora took a knife and ripped up furniture.
That's correct.
Tell me about it.
That day, the day I moved out, she called the cops because I wanted to move out.
Why would the police be called to the house?
Because I wanted to take my stuff with me, and she thought that she was able to keep it. When everything was in my name, I had receipts for it. I showed the police.
Okay, so that's why the police were called, because
Yes.
you were taking some property out of the house. Okay, and what happened?
The police told me I had to get my stuff and go as soon as possible. So they waited there. They waited there until I got my stuff out. Before the police were called, before the police got there, I was moving some stuff downstairs to the...
What stuff?
I was moving clothes. I was getting my clothes, putting them in bags, and taking them downstairs to the basement, so when my family got there to help me move, I'd be all ready. When I came back up, she was putting a knife back into the kitchen sink. I started to proceed to move the furniture out of the living room, and there were slashes in the side of them. I do have pictures if you'd like to see those.
Can I see them, please?
I saw the furniture.
There's one slash, is that right? Is that what you're telling me?
There's a slash in each end of the couch and the love seat.
I see. Did you do this?
No, ma'am.
There's no reason for me to rip my own furniture when I paid for it.
No.
There isn't.
I paid for that furniture. That furniture was in both of our names, but it didn't matter to me. I just wanted him to leave.
Well, why do you think somebody would slash the furniture like that?
I have no idea why he would do that.
I have
Or
no
who
idea
else
why
would do
anybody
it. I
would
don't
do
know.
that to their furniture either. All right. There's another part of this lawsuit. Now you can stand up, Mr. Zamora, because you're suing him because you say he borrowed $350 to use as a security deposit for the apartment. Did he borrow that money for security deposit?
He borrowed the money to get an apartment and incidentals. He did not have a place to live. He had just started to work.
Security deposit is $445. Who put down the security deposit?
I borrowed the money from him, Your Honor, for the security deposit.
So you put
Yes.
down the security deposit on the apartment
I
with
put down-
his money.
Right. I put down a first month's rent, and he loaned me the rest of it for the security deposit, which I borrowed $550 from him.
And you paid some
I
back?
paid some back.
So $350 is left. Is that right, Mr.
Yes.
Zamora? So your daughter did not put down any security deposit in this apartment. Is that right?
Correct.
The cleaning and painting is just $395.
Yes, I'm only asking for half the last month's rent, but I want him to pay for all of the damages because he did the
No. $395 is cleaning and painting.
Okay.
Half of that, say it's $200.
Okay.
But he's already got $350 in there for security deposit because she didn't put any in. You can't get it both ways. You can't get your loan back from him, plus you're going to get back the money from the security deposit that's not eaten up by the landlord's cleanup. Can't get both. You following me? Perfect. So, in addition, I don't believe your daughter with regard to what happened that day in September when she called the police and there was an altercation at the house. I don't believe her story. What?
We have previous police reports of their altercations.
I don't care about previous. That's not what I'm here talking about. I'm telling you, I do not believe the story that your daughter told me that he assaulted her the way she described it and that she was solely without blame. I do not.
It takes two to argue.
I do not believe that it came about the way she described it to me, that he, for no reason whatsoever, assaulted her. I do not believe it happened that way.
We have previous police reports of him assaulting
Stop it!
Oh, no. I mean, so he's not going to stop assaulting her unless you tear him apart.
I believe that she got bruised in the arm because she went after his girlfriend in the car. I believe that that happened. I'm not saying you're blameless with regard to the altercation that happened in the house. I believe that you shouldn't have been there.
Correct.
Period. End of discussion. You should not have been there. You precipitated something that developed into maybe more than what you bargained for. You had no cause to be there at all. But I do not believe it happened in the way that the plaintiff described, so I am not holding you responsible for her medical bills. You have a hospital report?
I should.
Sir, and I'm not even entertaining your defamation of character end of your lawsuit. She said she put nasty things about you on the internet?
Yes, Your
Like
Honor.
what?
I have a paper printout up from American Online.
Let me see it. Do you have a report from any of these?
A report?
That says that what the x-rays found?
I think that's all I have, Your Honor.
Show this to the plaintiff, please. Is that your handle on the internet?
No, it's not. But it's funny.
Yes,
But no, I did not do this.
What proof do you have that she did that?
That is her online name. Her nickname is Coca. Since I've been with her for 5 years, it's always been that. My friend was online. She emailed him. He didn't know who it was. He looked up her online, her profile. That's under her profile. He called me the next morning and told me what was going on. So I asked him to print me a copy of it.
Did you ever use the name Coca?
Yes, it's been my name for a long time.
Well, why didn't you say that? I said, is this your handle? You said no.
Oh, I thought you asked me if I did that.
I didn't ask you if you did that. I said, is this your handle?
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh. Why would anybody put such a terrible thing on the computer?
I don't know, ma'am. I can't tell you because I didn't do it.
No?
I did not type those things. Anybody could have typed that.
Well, I know that. I know that anybody could have done it.
Could have even been her sister. Her sister has added quite a bit of fuel to the flames between these two, including taking him to the apartment.
Could have been a lot of things. Somebody else could have used her name, and somebody else with a grudge against both the defendant and his new girlfriend might have written that both of them are highly contagious with one or more venereal diseases. So there may have been somebody who used your daughter's name, who also had a personal axe to grind against these two people, who would write something like this and put it on the internet. That's possible. It's a bit far-fetched. It's a bit far-fetched. If I was satisfied by the required quantum of proof that she had, in fact, done this,
okay.
Oh, I would award you substantial damages.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I'm very familiar with online. You cannot get on somebody's profile without your password to get into that computer.
How do I know about this profile? How do I know that somebody
That's
used her
exactly
profile?
what that statement is from. That's from her profile. That's why she puts her nickname in there. That is her profile.
Do you understand that? Bert, all I want to know from you is...
You can't get onto somebody's profile.
Could anybody have written that?
Fundamentally, Judge, anybody could have written this.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I want to tell you something. I'm not convinced that you're going to get a penny from the assault, because I think that you were at least partially involved with her, which caused the bruises to your arm, so you're not going to get a penny for that. You're not going to get a penny for your $350 that is outstanding from the loan. Get it back from the landlord when the lease is over. You are going to get $215 towards October rent. You understand? That you're going to get. I am, in fact, satisfied that the plaintiff did damage your furniture, because I see no reason why somebody else would damage furniture that they intended to use that looked brand new to me. Do you understand?
Yes.
You understand. So I'm offsetting the $215 that he owes you for the rent to have your furniture repaired. Goodbye, folks.
Parties Blackman versus Miller Vaughn. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Who is Mr. Miller?
I am.
Would you sit down, Mr. Vaughn, please? And is this your wife?
Yes, ma'am.
Why don't you have a seat?
Thank you.
Mr. Blackman, this is an interesting case. I don't think I've ever tried one like this before. You knew the defendant.
I met him first time at our wedding, actually. He was a friend of a guest.
And according to your complaint, there came a time when you and the defendant arranged to have a young woman from the Philippines, who was, I believe, a cousin of your wife's,
Distant cousin, yes.
come to New York for the purposes of marrying him.
Yes, ma'am.
She came to the United States.
Yes, ma'am.
He didn't marry her.
No, ma'am, he did not.
And you want him to pay for all of the expenses that you incurred, which you say that he had agreed to pay. In addition, at some point, a check was given to you for $1,500, and then payment was stopped on that check, but that check was written by Mr. Vaughn at the defendant's request. So that's why he is a co-defendant. But he's really a nominal co-defendant. Okay, so when was your wedding and when did you meet the defendant?
In February of '99, the defendant was at our wedding. A few days later, he came to a Valentine's dance party, and that's where I spoke to him about our site, FilipinoGirlsTours.com. I said,
No. Speak slowly,
Okay.
because we're missing. You had a website?
Yes, ma'am, a small business. I met my wife through Pen Pal Club, and when she came over, she goes, I have many friends that would like to come too, so we put up a free Pen Pal site where people could get free addresses and phone numbers, stuff like that, and correspond. I don't know if he first saw that site, or I really don't know, but he came to our wedding, and then at the party he was there. And I said, well, you know, we do have a cousin of hers that's real cute on our site. Would you like to meet her? And he says, well, I'd be interested. So I gave him the contact information, the address, the phone number. She did not have email at the time. And from there, it progressed. They got to know each other well.
They got to know each other via mail.
Mail and phone, yes.
And
many,
phone.
Many phone calls. Okay. And he went over there on his own.
He went to the Philippines?
Yes.
And visited. That is correct. When did you go to the Philippines, sir?
It was April or May. I don't remember exactly what the date was.
Of 1999?
Yes.
Okay. And you went and you met this young lady. Go ahead.
Yes, when he returned, he relayed to me how happy he was, how he would treat her so nicely, that he really loved her. And he was very frustrated that they were never left alone this whole time. And in the Philippines, most girls are very chaperoned. This particular woman had never dated really in her life. Very, very sheltered. And I helped him with his paperwork to bring her over because we had just started our site and I wanted to get more experience in the fiancé visa part and what have you, so I did all of his paperwork for him.
What's a fiancé visa?
In order to bring a girlfriend, fiancé to the United States from another country, you must file paperwork with our government saying that you met her, prove that you met her, and that it's a legitimate relationship and you want to marry her. And you bring her over, you do all this paperwork.
Do you have a copy of that application?
I do not have a copy of his, per se.
I need a copy of his.
I do not. I have the form, but I have all the financial responsibility forms that he signed.
Can I see that, please?
Yes, ma'am. Saying that he would be responsible for her as long as she was here. Okay. I've highlighted the...
Okay, and you signed this financial affidavit, sir, on the 31st of August, 1999. Is that right?
I'd have to see it.
Sure.
Yes.
Good. So you signed the financial affidavit in August of 1999, agreeing to be financially responsible for this young lady when she came to this country.
Right. It said that I would be responsible so that she wouldn't be a burden upon our state.
That's correct, but that's only one of the affidavits that you signed. That's why I read the second one very carefully, which is, the first one says that you agree that she will never become a public charge while she's here. But the second affidavit that you signed, sir, says that a plaintiff may seek specific performance of my support obligation, and you acknowledge that any federal, state, local, or private agency that pays any means-tested public benefit or benefit on behalf of the sponsored immigrants has standing to sue you to meet my financial obligations. Okay, I got it. Now, when did the young lady come here?
She arrived on Friday, the 28th or 29th of January, I believe. The wife and I actually picked her up at the airport because the defendant said he could not get off work to pick her up. So we drove to Atlanta from Asheville, a considerable distance, picked her up, brought her that evening, left him at his apartment, where I even helped him move to. That night, they were alone. It was Super Bowl weekend. That Sunday, they came over. The girl was very, very upset with herself, what have you. Mr. Miller had talked her into giving up something very precious to her, which was her virginity, which is something these girls really hold proper to them, because he had spent so much money to bring her here and so much effort. She figured, well, he's going to marry me, it's okay. The way things worked out, she found out she did not know we had loaned him the money to bring her here, because that wasn't...
Now tell me about that loan.
Mr. Miller was in the process of moving, and I had gotten to know him a little bit, doing his paperwork for him and what have you, and he seemed to be a very nice fellow. So I helped him move, brought his washing machines over to my house to store, because he didn't have a place to put them, things like that. After he moved, we picked up the girl, brought her to his house and what have you.
Tell me about the money.
Oh, the money. During this move, he's saying he had put deposits down for this, for the phone, for the apartment and everything, and he was very low on money. And I figured the girl's a cousin of my wife, so I said, would you like to have a loan to bring her here? I could loan you the money for the plane ticket as long as it did not take too long to pay me back. And he said, oh, I could pay you back in 90 days, no problem. I just started a new job.
How much was the ticket?
The ticket itself was, I don't know, he sent the money to her. I gave him $675 cash.
Is that correct? That he gave you $675 in cash?
No.
He never gave you any money?
No.
He's lying, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's in dispute. $675 in cash you gave him.
Yes, ma'am, and I even asked my wife if I could take it out of our savings account. She's a joint member of that account, and she said yes, because it was for her cousin. That'd be fine.
Okay. Go ahead.
I had loaned him the money. I picked him up the day before she was to arrive. He called me and said, I can't get off work. Could you please pick her up? I said, sure, I'd be glad to. We went down, picked her up, brought her to the apartment that weekend.
Okay, then you told me about the problem.
Right.
When she came to your house. All right.
Right.
Did he ever tell you that this wasn't going to work out?
The first indication I had of any problem was that Thursday, he did not show up one night. He kept on showing up later each night, coming home, and Wednesday night he didn't show up at all. Thursday morning, the girl called me. I picked her up, brought her home. That Thursday evening, he called me. He didn't have keys to get into the apartment. He said, oh, I had to spend all night in the hospital with my son last night, and he gave me this story. His son was real sick, and he stayed there, and so I met him at the apartment and told him how badly she was hurt. And he says, well, I love her. This is not going to happen. Let me get cleaned up, I'll come over. That was the last I saw him in person until our criminal court trial came up. He called me the next day and said...
What criminal court trial?
For the $1,500 check.
Okay.
That was dismissed due to, it was a post-dated check.
Okay.
North Carolina laws.
When for the first time, I asked you, did he tell you that this was not going to work out?
He called me on the phone that week, I believe it was that Thursday evening, and said, I'm not going to marry her. And I said, well, why? And he says, well, that's personal, I'm not going to tell you. I've got to go out of town this following weekend. When I get back, I'll get with you. And he never did call back. Mr. Vaughn called me and said that he had a check that he had written to cover her expenses for her plane ticket, my loan, a small amount of living expenses until she went home. And I was to pick the check up at the apartment. Well, we didn't have a key. We couldn't get in.
Well, you must have said something to him about money. You owe me some money. You owe me the money that I gave you, $675,
actually,
and the return, and the return flight as well.
Right. It was actually him that volunteered the money at first to pay for her plane ticket home, because he knows this is a responsibility that he signed, that he is responsible for this woman, and if they do not get married after 90 days, he has to return her. It's an agreement he's made with the U.S. government.
Okay.
So he was aware of his obligation.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carl and Lori Jen Blackman say former friend Chris Miller borrowed money to fly in his girlfriend from the Philippines. Chris says there was no agreement to pay the money back.
When did she go back to the Philippines?
It wasn't until September.
Why not?
Because, well, she was so ashamed of herself, and in the Philippines, and I do have evidence from doctors that treat women in the Philippines.
I'm not interested in that because it's really not germane. She's not here. She was, for emotional reasons, she didn't go back.
Right, and plus the check bounced. We could not get it to cover. 5 times I took it, it would not. Each time I took it to the bank itself, they said, I'm sorry, there's not enough funds, and then I ran it through my bank to have it stamped.
But that was $1,500, and that would have covered her return flight to the Philippines.
And my loan.
And your loan to him.
Yes, ma'am, and a small amount of living expenses for a week or two.
So the whole thing was $1,500. So how did $1,500 become $5,000 that you're suing him for?
Well, we never could cash the check. It was never any good. So she stayed with us. She was real ashamed and didn't want to return home, and she did not have the money to return home, so because the check was canceled. And I had told Mr. Vaughn About a week after the check, when I first tried to cash it, I said, well, why isn't there any money there? And he said, well, my wife wrote a check. It'll be good in a couple of days. And I said, well, yeah, I think Cheryl may be staying a while anyways because she's very afraid about going home.
Okay, I got it. So the rest of this money, $3,500, is for her living expenses.
Basically, and attorney's fees, and we had to buy her clothes. She had no clothing other than summer clothing, and this was middle of winter, so we had to buy her clothing.
Well, she should have gone home immediately.
With what money?
With the money that you would have lent her and then sued them for the $1,500 and it would have been over with.
I don't have thousands of dollars in the bank.
This isn't fair. We're not talking thousands. We're talking about a return airplane ticket.
But
How
it was
much is the
Mr.
one
Miller's responsibility to return her.
How much was the return air ticket?
When I returned her, it was $640, and it was during the low time of year. In January, it's a high travel time. It could be as much as $1,000 or more.
All right, Mr. Miller, let's hear it.
Well, went over there, met her, did all the paperwork and everything to bring her over here.
Paperwork.
Then in December, when I talked to her, I told her, I said, you know, I don't think it's going to work.
You mean December before she got here?
Right.
Why did you tell her that in December?
Well, I had met my wife. We had dated, I guess it was about 8 or 9 years ago. And we had met, and we started seeing each other. And that's when I told her, I told Cheryl, I said, you know, it's just not going to work.
So you told the young lady that you didn't think it was going to work out. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. What happened next?
She came here. Carl picked her up at the airport.
Well, when you told her in December that it wasn't going to work out, she hadn't been here yet. Why didn't you cancel these papers?
I didn't know what, she was already in Manila. I didn't know what to do.
You mean she had traveled to Manila in order to come here?
Yeah, you have to go to Manila. You have to go to the embassy in order to come to the United States.
The interview
so she had already done the legwork there and was on her way here, and they had been using your papers to process her.
Right.
Okay. So you knew she was going to come?
Right.
In January.
Well, I told her not to come. She came anyway. Carl brought her to the apartment. I told her, I said, look, you know, it's just not going to work out. I think it was like two or three nights I stayed there, and I think that was it.
Why did you have sex?
Shh, don't speak. Mr. Miller, when she stayed at your apartment for 2 or 3 nights, did you share a room together?
Yes.
Why?
Because there was only bed. I didn't have a couch or anything. I just moved.
So you shared a bed together?
Yes.
While he was living with another girl.
Shh. Mr. Blackman, he was very quiet. You have to be very quiet.
Yes, ma'am.
What arrangements did you make to get her a return ticket to go home?
When me and her had split up, or she had left, went to Carl's house.
That was just a few days later.
Right. Carl had went around telling everybody he was going to have me for abandonment, had me put in prison, $12,000 fine.
Prove it.
Don't know.
Mr.
Don't
Blackman,
know if he can
this
or
is
not.
the last time I say that to you, sir. The next time I dismiss your case. Do you understand? I control it here.
Yes, ma'am.
It goes in an order. You, then him. Then if I have any questions. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you used to controlling things?
Not really.
Uh-huh. Does your husband like to control things?
She wears the pants.
What?
She wears the pants.
I somehow doubt that. Go ahead.
So once I heard what he was trying to do, I didn't know what to do, so I called my congressman. They put me in touch with liaisons. I told her what was going on. I said, you know, I need to stop the fiancé visa. She said, okay. Well, I talked to Carl. He said, look, he said, you pay $1,500. It'll all be said and done. It'll be over with. I said, okay, fine. It'll be done. I'd closed out my account. Mark Bond, he was a good friend of mine. I said, you mind writing a check? I said, here's the money. He said, no problem. Gave him $1,500. Well, Carl Blackman, in the meantime, had called and told her he was going to sue me, that I was going to prison, that on the documentation it says that I am liable for everything. Well, told him no, he's not. He offered to give you the money to send her back. You told him no. You've told me no, that you're not going to send her back, and there's nothing you can do to him. So then that's when he tried to go to court, get us on a criminal offense, and then we're here.
So that you stopped payment on the check that you had given him?
Yes.
That's what happened?
Yes.
But you understand that you owe him this money?
No, ma'am.
Yeah, you do. And for no other reason, Mr. Miller, than because of your actions, this young lady traveled from the Philippines to the United States. Now, you may have told her a week or two before she got on that plane while she had traveled to Manila, according to you, to begin this process, that it wasn't going to work out. And if it wasn't going to work out, then what you do when Mr. Blackman brings her to your home is put her in the car and you say, I'm bringing you back to Mr. Blackman's house. I told you this wasn't going to work out. You don't take her to your bed for a few nights and then return her. Bad sportsmanship. Not moral conduct. You don't do a test run with somebody that you know is not going to be a permanent part of your life, especially under the circumstances where you met her in the Philippines, which was on her turf. According to what the plaintiff tells me, which I believe, one of the frustrations that you had is that you were not alone very much because of her strict upbringing in her family. So she comes to a strange place, she comes to a strange home, she comes to a person that she's known for, what, a week or two? Is that all you knew her? I mean, other than the mail and the telephone
I
calls.
was over there about four or 5 days.
So it was less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
And she's vulnerable because she's here. She doesn't know anybody. I don't know how her English is, but she's certainly very vulnerable. And you took advantage of that. Bad show. And I can understand when Mr. Blackman says that there was an embarrassment that she had in going home right away. And she had to emotionally prepare herself to go home because she was going home different from the way she came. How old was she?
25.
And how old are you?
I just turned 35.
And you have a child.
Yes.
I see that from here. Were you married before?
Yes.
Once before?
Twice.
So you've been around the flagpole a couple of times,
I
as
guess you could
opposed
say
to this
that.
young lady.
I don't know if she had or hadn't. I would say not.
The only other expense that I haven't addressed is your attorney's fees. Now, you said you had attorney's fees.
Yes, we tried to change her visa so she could stay here without going
That's
home.
not his problem.
Yes.
That's your problem. That's her cousin. If you tried to change her visa,
Yes, ma'am.
then you're doing that out of the goodness of your heart. That has nothing to do with his relationship with you.
Yes, ma'am.
I certainly believe that you are entitled to be reimbursed for certain of your expenses.
Yes, ma'am.
And certainly for the $1,500 plus your airfare, I believe that you did provide airfare both ways for this young lady. And I believe that she probably needed a period of adjustment before she went back.
Yes, ma'am.
Not she came one week and she goes back the next. Kind of embarrassing. But I would say, Mr. Blackman, that she's not here. I cannot inquire of her. But I would say a month or so should have been sufficient time for her to get over this and to go home.
Mm-hmm.
Did she stay with you the entire time?
Yes, ma'am, she did.
Okay. So on your claim, Mr. Blackman, I'm awarding you $2,500.
Thank you.
The $1,500 that he was supposed to have given you, plus $1,000 a month for the month that I believe would have been sufficient time for her to prepare herself to go home. So on your claim, sir, I am awarding you $2,500.
Thank you.
Didn't do the right thing, sir. That's all.
Parties are excused. Monk. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated.
Ms. Nickerson, the defendant is a former boyfriend of yours, and it is your claim that he purposely totaled your car by smashing into it.
Mm-hmm.
This was after he had ceased to be your boyfriend.
Right.
Mr. Monk does not deny that he did, in fact, smash into your car, but he has two defenses. One, it was that it was really just an accident, and second, that you should have had more insurance. Right?
Yes.
I just wanted to make sure I got it right.
Mm-hmm.
When did he cease being your boyfriend?
That night.
It was a good answer. When did this happen?
August 7th.
Where were you?
I was at a friend's house.
Male friend?
Yes.
About what time?
About 7, 8-ish.
He came over.
He followed me.
What happened?
He knocked on the door, and my friend said, I think your boyfriend is outside. I said, oh, no, quit playing. And then he got more furious. Aisha, if you don't come out here. And so I finally...
You mean the defendant got more furious?
Yeah. He started yelling my name, and I was paranoid. And then I finally opened the door, and I came out there, and he was ranting and raving.
What was he saying to you?
Oh, it was belligerent.
What was he saying?
Oh, you know, how could you do this to me? Why are you here? Yada, yada.
And what did you say to him?
You know, I just said I was over a friend's house. By this time, I'm mad because he's embarrassing me at my friend's house. So I was getting upset with him, and I told him none of his business. And then he got more upset. Then this is in the back of the house, and then we're walking. He threw someone's garbage can on the ground, and I'm paranoid. Then I got on my cell phone. I called the police because he was getting violent. He was getting in my face.
He was getting in your face and he threw somebody's garbage can?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Then we proceeded to the front where my car was parked, and his car was parked across the street. Okay, and then we were arguing, and then he got in his car. It looks like he was going to take off and leave, but I guess the devil got in him. And so he did a donut and he sped and totaled my car. 360 turn and totaled my car.
What kind of car did you have?
A 2001 Corolla Toyota, 3 months old. My first new car.
Okay. You have a different version of what happened?
Yes.
I'll hear you.
First of all, we were still together on that day when.
Okay, you were still together.
When the thing happened, yes. And I did not follow her. I was not following her. I was on my way somewhere else, and I just happened to pass by that area, and I seen her car outside the home.
How big an area do you live in?
What do you mean?
You live in a city or?
Yeah, it's a town. It's a town.
How many people live in that town?
I don't know, a couple thousand, about 50,000.
So you're just around 50,000. So you
Yeah,
just happen to be
more,
going down
more.
that street.
Yeah, I was going down that street.
Okay, go ahead.
Where I was going, I was passing that area.
I got you.
But anyway.
Believe me, I got you. Go ahead.
Anyway, so I see her car there. So I was on my way to do something, so I continued to do what I was doing. I called her cell phone.
When you said you saw her car there, was it parked in the street or in a drive?
Yeah, it was parked on the street. The street I'm going down, if I look that way, I can see her car parked right there. And I know her car, and I know that she knows people that stay in that house. That's why I knew it was her.
Ah, there you go. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, I proceeded to call her on the phone, and she didn't answer her phone, so that made me suspect something even further. So after I finished doing what I was doing, I came back over there, and I knocked on the door. Nobody answered, so that, like she said, that made me more mad, and I was getting restless and upset. So I was calling her name out, and finally she came out. We got in a heated discussion. Things were getting too hot, I was getting too upset, so I jumped in my car and I proceeded to leave. My car was parked opposite of hers on the other side of the street. I went to make a U-turn. By this time, I'm so upset that I'm driving reckless. So I lost control when I was coming back after making a U-turn, and my car went into hers.
Right. Okay, now, let's talk about the damage. The car's been totaled?
It's totaled. It was not up.
What kind of insurance did you have on this brand new car?
The worst insurance in the world. Due to my age, I had to go with the cheap insurance. So I went to this place, but it was full coverage because you can't drive it off the lot without full coverage. So they're telling me they can only pay the blue book. So apparently the dealer must have gotten over on me on the overall price of the car, which, regardless of the case, I paid for it. That was my decision.
Let me see the paperwork. How old are you?
24.
So, according to this letter from the insurance company, they're prepared to give you $14,541.
Right.
And did you have a loan on this car?
Yes.
And what was the total loan amount on the car?
$19,100 something.
Who went with you to buy this car?
He did.
Did you shop around at all?
Yeah. I was shocked I got approved. I was happy. It had a nice steering wheel.
A nice what?
Steering wheel. Leather.
What kind of work do you do?
I work at customer service.
For whom?
Kaiser.
For how long?
3 years.
How much do you earn?
Not a lot.
How much do you earn?
Yearly, about $30,000.
How many payments did you make on this car?
Like 4 payments.
And how much were your payments?
$365.
A month?
Yes. Plus $120 of that insurance.
$120 of the $365 was for insurance?
Mm-hmm, the insurance. That lousy insurance. Can I say their name? The insurance name?
Sure.
I can?
Sure.
They suck.
Good.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Aisha Nickerson claims ex-boyfriend Carl Monk crashed into her car during a jealous rage. Carl says it was definitely an accident.
What percentage of interest do you have on this loan, do you know?
10%, 10.9.
You're not a very good shopper.
I was just with her. I wasn't helping her along.
Well, you have to deduct the payments that you've already made to the company, because you don't have a payout figure, do you?
No.
Okay. That would leave a balance that you owe the company of about $3,765. Now, Mr. Monk, you hit a car.
Yes.
You gotta
It was an
pay.
accident.
Well, it wasn't her accident. It was your accident.
But it was an accident.
No, it wasn't her accident. It was your accident. She wasn't in her car. Her car was standing. Her car didn't move over to your car. Right?
Right.
You hit her car.
True.
All riled up, angry, whatever else it was. Her car's not responsible for your anger. You are. So you got to pay her. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,765. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't agree with it.
I think justice was served.
Yeah, don't act on emotion.
Stay single.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Staley versus Thompson, step forward, please.
37-year-old trucker John Staley says during a visit with his sister, 38-year-old customer service rep Terry Thompson, she attacked him with a hammer. John says Terry lied to police and had him arrested for domestic violence.
Mr. Staley, the defendant is your sister.
Yes, ma'am.
And according to your complaint, she filed a false police report causing you to be arrested, spending a day in jail. Those charges were subsequently dismissed, but you want her to pay for your lost wages.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right? When did this incident occur that caused you to be arrested?
August 9th,
And where did it take place?
at the defendant's home of residence.
What were you doing there?
On August 9th, I came home to my home, and I found my niece, my oldest niece, on the phone.
Your
I asked
oldest
her-
niece is your daughter?
Yes.
Go ahead.
She was calling people on the phone, and she advised me that her car had broken down. She didn't have any money on her, and she needed help getting the car towed to get the car fixed. And she asked for my assistance. At the point, I didn't really have any money, but as we were discussing this, the tow truck showed up at my residence. So I told Lori to go with the tow truck driver to go get the car, have the vehicle towed, and I would go to the bank, withdraw money to pay for the towing. And Lori needed to go back to her mother's house, so I took Lori back to her mother's house, and that's what I was doing there.
And what happened when you got there?
I walked with Lori upstairs to the apartment. I stayed in the hallway.
Your Honor,
of the-
don't put your hand up yet. You'll have an opportunity to tell me your side of the story.
I stayed in the hallway while Lori went in and got her things, and there was a discussion that Terry made about that I owed her an apology over an incident that took place 2 years ago.
Have you spoken to your sister since?
I haven't spoken to my sister since February or March of this year.
But you were outside in the hallway.
I was in the hallway of the apartment.
She came out to the hallway
Yes, she did.
to tell you
She
that
wanted an apology, and she made some statements, and I told her she needed to get her facts straight on that issue, but I wasn't going to apologize for this incident. It's 2 years old, and there was no need, and I felt I was in the right of that incident.
Okay.
And she told me to leave, and I tried telling her that I needed to take Lori back to get her car, and she said, "No, you're not." She demanded that I leave, and if I didn't leave, she was going to go in, get a hammer, and she was going to beat me with the hammer. And I said, "Fine." So I turned around, I started walking down the steps. I was on the second step when my sister tried shoving me down the stairs. As she was pushing for me from behind, I turned around with my arm, I raised my arm in defense, and at the same time I tried to maintain my balance on the stairwell.
Had she gotten the hammer?
Not at that point. She got hysterical and everything. She started screaming out loud, and she ran back into her apartment. And I started walking down the stairs, and I was at the first turnaround. There's 3 flights of stairs, and there's a turnaround at one point, and that's when she emerged with the hammer from the apartment.
Did she come down the stairs to
Yes,
where
she
you
did.
were?
I started running down the stairs. I was at the bottom of the stairs when we came together, and she went to swing the hammer, and I put my hands up in a high blocking fashion, and the hammer caught my right forearm, and then I returned a kick to Terry, kicking her away from me, and this bought me a couple seconds to get out the door. Terry then chased me out the door, and I turned and I tossed my keys at Terry. I missed Terry, and my keys went into the bushes on the east side of the doorwell. And then she continued to swing the hammer, and she started yelling to her neighbors, "Call 911! I'm being assaulted!" as she was swinging the hammer.
Did you report this to the police?
Yes, I did.
When?
What happened was Lori came out, and I ended up taking Lori back to her car.
When did you report this to the police?
After I dropped my niece off at her car, I went straight to the sheriff's department.
And what happened when you got there?
They interviewed me, and I told them about the apology and
Told them the story.
told them the story. They said they had to talk to Terry about the hammer because she didn't originally tell them about the hammer.
And they come back and they said she admitted to using the hammer and that I admitted to kicking her. And as far as they were concerned, this was mutual combat. And their policy is to take one of us to jail. They elected me because I was already there.
And subsequently, the charges were dismissed.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see your paperwork, please. Now, Ms. Thompson, you tell me your version of these events, please.
He's been told several times, this would meaning the 5th time of this year, that he doesn't need to be over harassing me or coming over to my apartment. There's no reason for him to be over there since we do not get along. There's been a few domestic disputes in the past.
Whatever. Your daughter came home to gather some
Yeah.
stuff. Your brother is standing outside in the hallway of your apartment. What happened from there?
Okay, well, I buzzed my daughter to get in. I only seen my daughter get in.
Fine, your brother is standing in the landing.
He pushed his way in my
Where was he in the apartment?
He was standing in the living room.
Is the living room as soon as you enter into the door?
Yep.
Fine. Okay, so he's standing in the living room. What happened next?
He was trying to say hi, and he was being very much agitating and aggressive. And I said, why are you here? You know, you don't get along. We don't get along.
What did he tell you?
He was very much trying to say hi,
No,
very
Miss
jumping up and
Thompson.
down.
Miss Thompson, pay careful attention to me.
Okay.
He was there because he had brought your daughter there, right?
He could have waited in the car.
Just a second. Answer my question.
Yes.
He was there because he brought your daughter there.
Yes.
And he was waiting for her.
No.
He took her back to get her car.
That's correct.
Right. She got her things, and eventually, after this altercation, she left with him. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, I want you to tell me about this hammer that you admit that you hit him with.
First, he punched me first before I got a chance.
Where did that take place?
It happened in the hallway.
What level of the staircase did it happen where he punched you?
On the 2nd level.
Was he in front of you or behind you?
He was in front of me.
What were you doing following him out of the building?
He was still agitating me the whole way.
What were you doing following him as he was leaving the building?
Your Honor, he's constantly over in my apartment.
I don't care about constantly over. I'm asking you, he's leaving. You told him to leave. He's on his way down the stairs.
Right, agitatingly.
Not agitating, leaving the building. Whether he's leaving the building and he's saying words to you or he's not saying words to you, he's leaving. If he was agitating you, you close your door to your apartment, you say, my goodness, I'm glad he's out of here. You close the door, case closed. What were you following him for?
To make sure I didn't want him to come back.
When did you get the hammer?
I got it out from my closet in my apartment.
What did you call the police for?
I've constantly called the police.
No, I don't care constantly. What did you call the police for today, that day?
Because he was over again at my apartment harassing me.
Miss Thompson, was your daughter moving out of your apartment? Is that why she came over?
No, she just wanted one thing, a paycheck. She was in there for a second and out.
So she just came home to get a paycheck, right?
Right.
When did she tell you that she was just there to get a paycheck?
She didn't even bother telling me.
She walked in the door and you said something.
He followed her up.
When your daughter walked in the house,
okay,
did she tell you what she was doing there?
No, first she said, John is behind me.
Fine.
And then he pushed his way in. And then she went to get her check to get him out of there.
That's not why she went to get her check. That is not why she went to get her check. She came to the house because she had to get a check. She asked him for a ride. He was not there uninvited by someone who lives in your house. Does your daughter live with you? Does your daughter live with you?
No, she doesn't.
Did she live with you then?
No.
Okay, but a check was in your home?
She came over to visit me, and the check was in her pants pocket, and she came back to pick up her check.
So she leaves clothes in your house?
There's times she visits.
So she leaves clothes in your house?
Yes.
So she invited him to drive her home. She walked in and said to you, John's behind me. Not John's behind me, he's stalking me. He followed me here in order to hurt you.
Yes, he did, Your Honor.
No, he didn't, Miss Thompson. Now, Miss Thompson, you told him to leave and he was leaving. And your daughter was still upstairs. You're the one who gets agitated because you were following him down the stairs, you went upstairs and you got a hammer.
And he couldn't stay in his car?
He could have stayed in his car. Sure he could have. That doesn't give you license to go and get a hammer and assault him with a hammer. That doesn't give you license to do that. He's not a stranger. It's not somebody that you don't know.
You may not get along with your brother, Miss Thompson, but that doesn't give you license to pick up a deadly weapon and to use it. At all. And you're absolutely responsible for his lost day's wages, which in this case, all he's suing for is $134.84. You got it. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Parties are excused. You may, Mr. Rosa. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks have seats.
Don't bring out, don't touch anything. Mr. Sheftel, according to your complaint, you are in the business of making customized chocolates.
Yes, ma'am.
And the defendant had been a customer of yours for some time.
Yes.
There came a time when she ordered a customized item.
Correct.
Which you claim you delivered to her, put on a credit card.
Correct.
She stopped payment on the credit card and returned the chocolate.
Yes.
You say there was nothing wrong with the product and you want her to pay for it.
Correct.
Mr. Rosa says the product was defective and delivered late, right?
Yes, my horse looked deformed.
Okay. How long had she been a customer of your business?
About 5 or 6 years.
With no problem?
Never had a problem.
What kind of customized chocolates had she ordered previously?
The coins, I brought these to show you. They're customized chocolate coins with an imprint with her company or horse's name on them.
Fine.
And she ordered it by the thousands.
And what was this customized order that she made when she returned the order?
Okay, she had placed an order for thousands of chocolate coins. She came to pick them up on Valentine's Day, one of my busiest days of the year. While she was picking them up, she was on her way to a horse show. She asked if there was anything new that we're doing. You know, she's always interested in something different. And I showed her the photo chocolates that we do. That is an imprint of, you give us a photograph and we make it into the chocolate and the whole thing is edible. She was all excited. She happened to have with her a picture of her horse, which is on the back of a phone card that she gives out as a promotional item. She gave it to me.
Can I see it, Bert?
I went into the back and I said, if you want, I'll make one up real quick for you. I can do that. So I went into the back and I made one very quick for her, just to give her an idea. This is the exact sample that I made for her.
Let me see.
No, I ate the sample. I have an eating disorder. I ate the sample.
Listen, Mr. Rosa, don't speak until I speak to you.
Sorry.
Don't look back there. Look here. Don't forget. Don't speak. Okay, so this, you say, is the sample you made for her.
Yes, here. This is the finished product that we actually shipped out, several hundred of these.
Okay.
And you can take them out of the box if you'd like.
Just a minute. I don't want to take them out of the box. Okay. Okay. How many of these did she order?
200.
And what was the price?
The total came to $562.50.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. The chocolates are done individually handmade, so it's not like they're done through a machine and they're all identical. They're all done by hand. Okay, we take the picture that she gave us, which you have, and we make a master sheet of them.
Listen to me. I don't plan on going into the chocolate business.
Okay.
So I'm not interested on how you do it and whether it's a good product or not good product. Listen carefully. Okay. Bird, don't eat the chocolate. That's the evidence. When did you ship out this chocolate?
The chocolate was shipped out exactly 1 week later on the 20th, and it arrived in Arizona where she needed it the next day on the 21st at 9:25 and arrived signed for at 11:19 in Scottsdale.
Okay, she got it.
She got it within a week.
Good.
I get a call from her. She said she didn't get it in time. I said, well, what do you mean you didn't get it in time? We shipped it out. Well, she said she needed it for a party. I said, well, I was never told that you needed it for a party. This was a last-minute order. We told you we'd get it there by the end of next week. So I knew nothing about the show. That was the first thing. Then she said, well, she didn't like the way they looked. I said, well, what's wrong with them? And I never really got a correct answer from her.
Okay, let me find out. There's no question that you received the goods on the 21st of February,
Yes.
and there's no question that you stopped payment on your credit card of $562.50.
Yes.
Okay, now explain to me why.
We went in, as you said, and I'll make this very brief. He showed us the chocolates. I gave him this card, which you have in your hand. I said, could I have a sample? The reason why I brought up the eating disorder, he brought it, and I wanted to keep the sample, but we ate it on the way to Scottsdale because there's no way that chocolate can last around me. So I said to Frank, it was beautiful. I said, Frank, please make this up for the show. He sent them a day late, which I said, okay.
Just a minute. It was exactly a week later that you received them, which seems totally reasonable. So the time is not the issue.
The issue is we go through great lengths to put my horse in the best light possible. On this Visa receipt, we not only have the chocolates, but we have the gold coins. The only thing I took out of this was the chocolates, and if you look at them, it makes my horse look deformed.
Well, let me see them.
The very reason The very
Just a
reason
second.
to do this is to promote something and give this to people. And I don't know if he's changed the chocolates, kept the chocolates. But
These are the exact chocolates.
He didn't make new chocolates.
No,
Can
they
I
were-
see the box,
They were shipped
please?
back. And I want to point
Can
out
I
there were
see?
2 boxes that were shipped. She shipped back the second box with it never even opened it when she got it. It was completely closed the way we sent it.
Let's take a look at some of these randomly, all right?
And he never said they were each one was separate and they would have a different look, or I wouldn't have done it.
Well, let me ask you this question. Could you take a look at this one and tell me what's wrong with it?
All right, well, what I wanted to start to say was the chocolate. Okay.
Just look.
Yes.
Tell me what's wrong with that.
You have a little bit on the picture there.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like a little bit of a discoloration. What I wanted to start to say was these chocolates were shipped from the candy factory in North Hollywood to Arizona. They went from Arizona, I don't know how, to Solvang, and then shipped back from Solvang to the candy factory 3 weeks later. So they left, I packed them myself, they were great. I don't know what condition they were traveled by. This is perishable chocolate. Considering all the travel they
Well, then
packed.
let me see. Is that the box that came back unopened?
Yes, I opened it before we came here to make sure.
May I see that
Yes.
box, please?
And it says on the side of the box.
Just a second. I don't care where it went to, before or after, or whatever else. This one she opened. This one,
And she
according
removed
to
10 of those bars also and sent it
this,
back.
This one, according to you, she did not open.
Correct.
And it came back to you unopened.
Correct.
So she just opened the first one, took a look at them, saw some that were defective.
That's what she says.
Well, I see some that were defective. Here you say it may have happened later.
Correct.
So let's take a look randomly at some of these. Bird, take out some of these for me. Help me out here, would you? I went to law school for this.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Chocolate maker Frank Sheftel says Timmy DeRosa refuses to pay for the custom-made chocolate she ordered. Timmy says the chocolates were deformed.
Okay. Could you tell me why this makes your horse look deformed?
Well, this particular one doesn't. This one is faded. Would you hand this to somebody if this was the Judge Judy thing, a gavel, and your whole gavel was halfway off?
I wouldn't give somebody a picture of myself that they could eat.
Well, you know what? That...
And that's the point. These are edible. In 2 minutes, they're gone.
Then don't have beautiful ones to show.
Are you talking to each other? Don't irritate me. This case is irritating me enough.
You cannot hand these out. There's some of them where their eyes are popped, where their eyes are bulgy. This is faded. You can't give this to somebody. These are multi-$1,000 horses. His stud fee's $3,000. We ship semen all over the country.
Could I please have that back? Listen, what
I
I
would
don't
not
understand,
hand
Miss,
any
I'm
of this to
speaking,
anybody.
I'm speaking. Mr. Sheftel, something that I don't understand from a business perspective. Thank you. She's absolutely right that they're faded. Shh, I'm speaking. They're all faded.
It's 6 months old.
No, they're all faded. I have no idea what they looked like before, but certainly these are faded. I don't see that they're deformed, but this isn't an oil painting. This is done in chocolate. What I don't understand from a business perspective, Mr. Sheftel, is this was a customer of yours for 6 years.
Yes.
So if she says she's dissatisfied with this part of one order that she made, it seems to me good business practice would be to say, I'll take the chocolate, I'll either eat it, or I'll mix it up in a vat, or I'll make new chocolate out of it, or I'll do something with it, but I'm not going to lose a customer of 6 years over one order. So explain that to me, because I come from a retail family, and I don't understand
So do
that.
I. The candy factory's been in business for 23 years.
This is not an advertisement for
No,
you,
I
sir.
don't understand
So
that. But what
explain
I'm
to
trying
me-
to say is we don't put out an inferior product. What you're seeing here is chocolate that is now 7 months old, okay? And it fades. Chocolate, as you know, fades. These were in prime condition. Maybe there was something wrong with the shipping. Maybe they were left in the sun. I don't know. When they were shipped back to me, I opened them, I looked at them. There was nothing wrong with them.
Listen, what would be the reason for the defendant, she had been a good customer, to order them and then send them back to you? She clearly liked what you did. She came to your place. She ordered it off.
She's called me since then to place another order. She called me 2 months ago to place an order.
No, what I said is do them right, and I will buy them.
No, your husband called me and asked me if he could place an order, and I said, we still have
An
this
order for
outstanding.
what?
For more chocolates.
No.
Hey!
For what kind of trouble?
We didn't even get that far.
Okay, because you said you still have this outstanding issue.
And another point I'd like to make is, she says that I could give them out as samples. I've shown them to people, actually. I do show them. I have one in the case. I think there's nothing wrong with them.
They're faded. Shh. They're faded and not great. And your customer didn't like them. I believe that she acted in good faith by returning them almost immediately. She said, I don't like the way they look.
It wasn't immediately. She took 10 or 15 out of one of the boxes.
Just a minute, did you take any out of the box?
When the boxes actually got there, everyone looked through them, and then they said, look, this one's deformed, this one's deformed, and the person that does the advertising...
Answer my question.
I don't know if there may be some out of the boxes that we handed out.
Well, then you pay for half. You can't use some. I don't care if you use 5 or 10 or 15 and say, I don't want the rest. The rest are no good.
No, that's not the point at all. That is not what happened at all.
That's exactly what happened.
No, it's not. Actually, I showed people how deformed they were.
And you didn't put them back. If you showed them how deformed they were and you didn't put all the items back because somebody took them, somebody ate them.
I told you then.
Don't talk to him.
No, I told
Talk
Frank
to me.
then. I told him then. I said, count them when you get them. I would not go to hell over $20.
So some people did take some.
No, not as a promotional item.
I don't care what they took them as.
No, I did not hand them out. They were at the barn. And I said, we cannot use them. Look at this. And everyone said, these look awful. We called Frank. I had no...
Madam, you're not answering my question. I don't care whether you used them as a promotional item or whether you gave them away as Christmas presents or you gave them to the Easter Bunny. Somebody ate them, and it wasn't him. Okay, as I said to you, and I'm not going to waste another second on this case, I think it's very bad business to sue a good customer. But I also think that you can't accept partial order, use some of the partial order, send the other one back without even having opened it, and say, they're probably all no good. So, listen to what I'm telling you. You see the box that you didn't open? That's this box, Bert? Which box didn't she open? That one?
Yep.
And we took a whole bunch out of this, right?
Yeah, Your Honor.
Quiet! I don't want to hear another thing. I got important business to take care of. There. You see that box? This came from here. This one is his order. That one is his sample. You see that box? Give it to her. She just bought half an order. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $280. That's all.
Why is that excused? You may step out.
He usually makes excellent products, and this time he didn't, and that's a shame.
It's a reflection of the horse. That's what the horse looks like. If it's deformed, it's because the horse is deformed.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lyons versus Mason. Step forward, please.
30-year-old child care provider Tara Lyons is suing her ex-boyfriend, 28-year-old lab technician James Mason, for unpaid rent and a car loan.
Ms. Lyons, according to your complaint, you met the defendant on the internet.
Yes.
A tool that I don't use very well. And then you met.
Yes.
When did you meet?
We met about August of 2000.
And then there came a time when you decided to live together and he moved in with you.
Yes. And it was kind of like iffy and off and on for about 2-3 weeks, and then he permanently stayed there. He moved all his stuff in.
When?
All about September of 2000. And then in October, he moved his stuff out of our room into a spare bedroom that I have.
And he was staying there as a tenant?
Yes, he was staying there as a tenant.
That must have been uncomfortable.
Not really. We still had conjugal visits.
That's more information than I needed. Okay.
The arrangement was that when he moved out of our bedroom into the spare bedroom, I said, well, if we're going to live like roommates, then you need to pay rent. And so we agreed on $200, and he was going to start paying in November 1st.
Okay. When did he make his first month's rent payment?
He never did.
When did he move out?
He moved his body out on the 2nd. He moved the remainder.
2nd of what?
The 2nd of January. He removed the remainder of his stuff around between the 18th and the 22nd
So
of
by
January.
January, he's gone. November, he's supposed to pay rent. You say he never paid rent, so he's got November and December rent.
And 2 days
Just
in January.
Forget 2 days in January. Stop being silly. What else do you claim he owes you?
He owes me little odds and ends, like he needed $40 here and
I don't want to hear $40 here and $40 there.
Okay, well, I kept track of it.
Did he sign a note for the money?
No, I wrote it in front of him, and he agreed to it.
You remember that?
No.
That she wrote a note in front of you and you agreed to it?
Right before I moved out.
Just to answer my question.
All right.
You don't remember her writing down little pieces of paper?
I remember her handing me a note.
And the note said that you owed her how much?
Like $600.
You have the note that you gave him?
I have the receipt from the first
from the first payment after he had left. On January 20th, he paid me $100 to be deducted from the $610.43 that he owed. So he owed me $510.43.
That sound right? Look at me.
I don't know.
Look, January 20th, 2001.
Yeah.
You gave her $100.
Uh-huh.
That leaves a balance of $510.43. After January 20th, 2001, did you give her any more money?
Yes.
Show me.
Right here.
Good. Okay. Did he give you any money on February 18th?
Yes, he gave me another $100.
Right. How come you didn't tell me that?
No, I just said I had a receipt for the first 100.
Okay.
He gave me
And
another
did he-
100.
And he gave you another 100 on April 15th?
No, he did not.
Show me that you gave her another $100 on April 15th.
That's all I have. And she would call me and say, you know, it's almost payday. And she'd say, are you going to have some money for me? And I'd say, yeah, Tara, I'll have some money for you. And I'd come over and I'd drop off the money and give it to her.
No, he didn't. We would have emailed each other back and forth, which means I would have had records of it through email. Most of my stuff, my information is through the emails. That's how I know exactly how much he owes me. My last email from him was on May 9th. I wrote him, it says, I haven't heard from you. I'm still waiting for you to pay me on May 11th. On May 10th, he wrote me, no, I will not be stopping by. I cannot afford to pay you this month, maybe next month. May 16th, I wrote him back. I will write you in June. On June 1st, I wrote him, okay, what day of this month is good for you? This was at 9:29 p.m. On June 1st at 9:49 p.m., he wrote me back, none. Then on June 2nd, I had wrote him back, why is it taking you so long to pay me back? You owe me less than $420. On the 4th at 7:06, he wrote me, I will not be paying you. I cannot afford anymore. Sorry.
Well, he owes you right now
$410.43.
Right.
I don't know where that money.
You have those communications with her?
Yeah, I send her the emails, but I mean,
Mr. Mason, according to this piece of paper that you gave me, you owe her $310.
yeah.
All right? Let's assume that I take your figure as accurate, which I'm not guaranteeing I'm going to do. Why didn't you pay her the $310?
Because I don't owe it to her.
Just a minute. You just handed me this piece of paper, sir.
Yeah.
According to this piece of paper, your evidence, you still owe her $310. Why didn't you give her the $310 that, according to your piece of paper, you still owe her?
I don't say that I owe her that other $300.
I do. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $410. Thank you.
Parties are 6 on the calendar in the matter of Ellison versus West. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Folks, have seats, please.
Miss Ellison, you and Miss West were friends.
Yes.
Your complaint states that you had an argument over something.
The children.
And subsequently, you were receiving some harassing calls. You decided that you needed some protection, so you got a dog.
Yes.
It is your claim that the defendant, in retaliation for something, enticed the dog onto her property and subsequently adopted the dog. You want the dog returned to you?
Correct.
Or its value?
Yes.
Okay. How long have you lived in the same neighborhood?
About a year and a half, 2 years.
Is that how you know her, from the neighborhood?
Yes.
When did you get the dog?
The 15th of March.
Where did you get the dog?
I used to be a dog groomer by trade, and one of my former customers asked me to take her because her daughter had very severe allergies. I had to get rid of the animals, unfortunately.
What kind of dog is it?
She's a Dalmatian Black Lab mix.
She's a mutt?
Yes.
So you took the dog?
Yes.
Didn't pay for the dog, but you
No,
took
ma'am.
the dog. Where did you put the dog when you brought the dog home?
We tied the dog outside in the front because we were having a lot of harassment problems.
Is it a fenced yard?
Not in the front, no.
What was she tied with?
She was tied with a brand new chain and collar, and that we bought her before we bought.
Did the dog have a license on the collar?
No.
So that there was no identifying mark on the collar?
No.
What time did you come home from picking up the dog?
About 5:30, 6 o'clock.
And what time did you find the dog missing?
I didn't put her out until about 9:30.
At 9:30, you found the dog missing?
Yes.
What did you do?
First, we went out searching for her all over the neighborhood. And my husband said, she's probably down at Cindy's. At first, I didn't think Cindy would, go that low, but she did. And
We made signs, and we put the signs out early the next morning. My husband...
Where did you put out the signs?
On the telephone poles, one being right beside her home, and another one down the street, and all up and down Galbraith Road, which is the off street from where we go to.
Okay.
I called the SPCA, who had told me that the dog wasn't there yet. I have a lost dog report where I filed the lost dog report that morning.
I'd like to see it, please.
I also got a copy of the sheltered animal report. When I went to go to the SPCA on the first day, the very next morning at 10 o'clock, the animal was not there yet. It wasn't until 1:35 until the animal was picked up by Cindy. She called the SPCA.
Sure, we'll get to her in a second. Okay, now how did you find out the dog was with Miss West?
My daughter went to a local pharmacy around the corner from where we live, which views the backyard of Mrs. West's home. She came in crying, saying that Lacey was in Cindy's backyard. So we went back in the back alley.
When was this? How many days
that
later?
was a week. It was on the 28th.
Okay.
I said, okay, let's go make sure, Ripley. I said, because, we want to make sure before we call the police.
Okay, so the answer is, was your dog, and did you call the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Called the police? You went to her home with the police?
Yes, ma'am, we did.
And she showed the police the adoption papers because she had since adopted this dog?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Ms. West, when did you find this dog?
On the evening of the 15th, had to be about 11:30 at night. It was running freely through the neighborhood. I have a videotape where this dog ran in an hour and 15 minutes. It ran 17 times through my yard.
Why would you videotape this dog?
I have a security camera on my house because this woman continually harasses me.
Is it on all the time?
Yes.
Go ahead.
And I called the SPCA. It was running out in the street, back and forth in the yard. And I opened the door and I said, "Hey, puppy," and the dog walked right in my house. Then I believe it was Monday. I had called to see if the owner had claimed the dog, and they said that no one had called for the dog, and I went down to see her. Owner has 5 days to claim. I waited 6, and then I went with my son and adopted the dog.
Did you see any signs that Miss Ellison put up in your neighborhood?
No, that's a complete lie.
You didn't see? No,
No.
I don't know whether it's a complete
Well,
lie
I
or
didn't
not.
see any.
The answer is you did not see
No,
any
I didn't see
signs.
any.
Okay. Now let's get to your counterclaim for a minute.
Okay.
Your counterclaim is that the plaintiff vindictively called Protective Services, uncross your arms, called Protective Services and said things about you with regard to your children, causing your children to be removed from your custody for over 3 weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I'd like you to tell me about that because that's your counterclaim.
Yes. In the period when we were friends, there were several times that she stipulated to me that no matter what happened, not to call 241 Kids because she runs a very filthy household. And so we had agreed to that. If we hadn't, I'd have called Children's Services before she did. But I give my word,
I don't want to
stick
hear
it.
you. Go ahead.
On March 1st, Children's Services knocked on my door claiming that they had got a report for a filthy house. Supposedly there was garbage in my house up to here, that I beat my kids, that I didn't feed my kids, and several other allegations.
Okay.
And my children were removed from me until there was a parental screening done.
Just a second. That's not what Protective Services does. They don't come in, remove children for 3 weeks while they do an investigation. When they receive a report, they come in and they say, "Can we come into your house?" And they come in and they make certain observations. So if they came into your house, they must have found your house filthy.
No.
Did they speak to your children?
Yes.
And it was at that time that they removed the children?
My children weren't actually...
Answer. Was it at that time that they removed the children?
They were placed under a safety agreement.
Okay. So they allowed the children to remain in your home under an agreement with you. Is that right?
No.
With whom?
My children were not allowed to be left alone with me whatsoever. I either had to have someone stay with me or they had to go to my mother's.
Okay. So they were allowed to stay with you if there was someone else in the house. And that was after they spoke to the children?
It was...
After they spoke to the children?
No.
Wrong.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Elizabeth Ellison says neighbor Cynthia West stole her dog in retaliation for calling child services. Cynthia is countersuing for defamation of character.
When was the agreement entered into that you would not be left unsupervised with your children?
On March 1st.
So this is before the dog disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an investigation?
Was there an investigation?
That's my question.
Yes, I have an open case.
So your case was not marked unfounded. It is still an open case.
I can explain to you why.
Just answer my question.
Okay, yes.
The case was not marked unfounded, which means that there was no merit to the claims. It was an open case, which means it's still outstanding and subject to investigation.
It'll be closed the end of this month.
Who knows?
I do.
Do you have any reports from social services
That's confidential information. It would have to be subpoenaed.
so that you don't have them?
Exactly.
Do you have any initial reports that were furnished from social services?
Those are not public information.
Okay. Is this the first time that social services has visited your home?
Oh, yes.
The first time?
First. Very first.
Why would you and the defendant talk about not calling social services? I mean, I've had lots of friends in my life. One of the things that we certainly never talked about was never calling social services about how we are as parents. We talked about a lot of other things. We complained about our husbands, the local market, but we never had a discussion about social services. Why would you have an agreement with her not to call social services, Miss West?
That was a stipulation that she set down, not I.
No, it was a stipulation you set down by
Now,
being a
okay,
drug
just a
head.
second. Miss Ellison, you interrupted again, but I'm going to come
I'm
back to
sorry.
you for a second. I'm not going to ask you whether or not you placed this call.
It's an anonymous hotline.
It was because it's an anonymous hotline, so I'm not going to ask you whether you did or not. But it is your belief that because she thought that you placed this call, she retaliated by taking the dog.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I have proof she took the dog.
Let me see.
This is a Coleraine Township Police Department police report. If you would read it, you would see at the bottom, it states that she admitted taking my dog.
Let me see.
And she also knew it was my dog. She told him when she got there. When he got
Don't
there.
tell me what she told him. I'm looking it up.
Sure you don't have a copy of that?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to give both of you 1, 2, 3, then you're out of here. Do you understand?
Yes.
Did social services come to visit your house?
Yes, ma'am. I have a copy of my
Can I see it, please?
human resource
Because I
thing.
see that after she believed you
You
called
can
on
also,
her.
yes, she did.
She
She called on
you.
me.
All right.
May I comment?
Sure.
I did not make that call. I'm not the only person that knows she runs a filthy house.
Okay. All I can tell you is she has this document here, which you clearly do not have, which indicates that her case was immediately closed.
They made a surprise visit, just like her. Sorry.
I like to conduct a very orderly place. Clean, neat, and orderly.
Go ahead.
You don't have this, that your case was closed. Is that right?
No, because my case is still ongoing. Would you like for me to answer that why? You had asked me that before.
Sure.
The reason my case is ongoing, part of the social interaction with her and I, we'd smoked marijuana together. I was a recreational user. She
That's
gets
a
high
lie,
all
Judge.
day,
I don't want to
every day.
hear.
That's what.
Shh, shh. Listen to me. Case closed. Case still open. That's the objective fact.
Because I admitted to my recreational use is the only reason I have an open case.
Because they caught you at the door, you and that Nicole, your
listen.
witness, smoking a joint.
Listen to me.
And you know what
Don't-
happens in my house, huh?
What? You don't understand? You're going to both be out of here. Well, Miss West, police officer attributes the following to you. She stated that Miss Ellison had her kids taken away, but all she did was take away her dog, Miss Ellison's dog. So she, quote, went pretty light on her. That's what you told the police.
Can I respond?
Yeah, the police don't lie.
Well, no, I'm not going to lie.
Shh. You don't get it. Yes, I'm waiting for you to respond.
Okay. This was after she had come to my backyard and was cussing and hollering that I had her dog. That was the first point at which I was aware that this dog had previously belonged to her. And I did tell them that, but like I said, it was after that she had pointed out to me, you have my dog, and a few other explicit words mixed in there. But she had pointed that out to me. So at that point, I did know that it was her dog. But that was the first time that I had knowledge of that.
Who knows? Okay.
Nobody tapes a dog in a video yard.
Listen to me. Listen to me. Why don't you be quiet?
Okay, you're right. I'm sorry.
I have several things to consider. Right now, the dog has been with you for quite some time. Dog is integrated into your household?
Yes.
And you, I assume, take good care of this dog?
Yes.
Good.
No.
I don't want to hear from you yet. I'm primarily concerned about the dog, the children involved. Right now, she is the legal owner of that dog, and your lawsuit wants either the return of the dog or the value thereof, which you place at $500. Quiet. That's what your lawsuit says.
The lawsuit is for, the $500 is for harassment. We would like to have the dog back. That's all we've ever wanted.
What I'm telling you is, she is now the legal owner of this dog, and I have to make a judgment as to how I'm going to resolve your lawsuit. I believe that there is a substantial possibility that Miss West did, in fact, come to your property, unchain the dog, and take the dog. That is a possibility. It is also a possibility that the dog got free.
I agree.
And was, in fact, roaming around. What she did was she did not secrete the dog. She brought the dog to the ASPCA immediately. You had an obligation to be vigilant and you could go to the ASPCA every day to see if the dog was there. The dog, I'm
called
speaking.
every day.
I don't care, call. I'm speaking. You had an opportunity to go to the ASPCA every day for day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look for your dog. You did not do that. So put your hand down. So since the dog has been in her custody, you had an opportunity to go and pick up your dog. You did not do that. She did not hide the dog. And there is, again, that possibility that your dog did, in fact, get out. Just get out. She probably knew it was your dog. Not sure, but I don't indulge myself in potentials or possibilities. I'm speaking. So I am awarding you $500. Even though you did not pay for this dog, I believe that Miss West knew or should have known that this was your dog and that there was a bit of retaliation in her keeping the dog and not calling you and letting you know that she had found the dog, and that there was something sneaky about the way she went about going there and legally adopting the dog. But she has legally adopted the dog. The dog is hers. It has been with her and her family for a long time. Now, Miss West, I'm going to get to your counterclaim, which I am dismissing. What state do you live in?
Ohio.
The state of Ohio does not remove children from their home without cause for 3 weeks without taking a parent to court. Period. End of discussion. No state does that. The state may say, I'm going to give you a warning, clean up your house, but if the state of Ohio is still part of this union, there are certain due process rights that you have. And if your children were removed from your home, as you state in your claim, as a result of what is an anonymous call, and it may well have been Miss Ellison who called, may well have been, but it doesn't make any difference. She did not remove the children from your home. The state removed the children from your home, which means that they found some cause to remove the children from your home. Since you do not have the paperwork to show me what the cause was, I have to assume.
I do have.
Well, you do have now. Swell.
I do have the paper for the safety agreement. I do not have the letter that she has. I left that at home.
I don't want to hear the letter for the safety agreement. I want a report from the state indicating why they removed the children from your home.
This is what this is.
Well, I'll take a look at it. That
Your
doesn't
Honor.
look like, I don't want to hear from you. You're finished.
Okay, no problem.
Well, they clearly found you using drugs.
I admitted to it. They asked me
Whether
the
you
question.
admitted to it or they found it. One of the stipulations was adults will refrain from all illegal drug use in the home. Who else lives in the home other than you and your 2 children?
My husband. Nicole's staying with us right now.
Excuse me?
Nicole Lake, this lady right here. Her mother left and went to Florida, so she's staying
She
with
was
me.
the one
so
they
she's gonna
found
stay.
doing drugs.
Shh. Don't want to hear you. What are you showing me? I read this already.
In the highlight, it shows that Miss Ellison admitted to being the one who called 241.
What difference does it make? The police had cause. The police had cause to remove your children. They either saw or you admitted to using drug use. And listen to me, Miss West, I'm not stupid. If the authorities came to your home and found nothing untoward in your home, found you perfectly straight,
they did.
Making matzo ball soup in your kitchen, right? And you just volunteered to them that you used drugs, volunteered to them, you must think that I was born 2 days ago. That's not what happens. They had evidence. They either found you in a condition of being under the influence, they smelled something in your home, they found something in your home, something happened, and then you admitted that you used drugs. But a normal person doesn't invite authorities into their home and say to them, let me tell you everything. Sometimes my house isn't neat, and sometimes my kids' clothes aren't clean, but the worst thing that I do is use drugs. We understand each other. Your counterclaims dismissed. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's
Thank
all.
you, Your Honor.
Parties Collins. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Ma'am, have a seat, please.
Ms. Lee, you dated the defendant for a very brief period of time, and it is your claim that during that period of time you made a series of loans to him totaling approximately $1,550.
Correct.
The defendant says that these were dating things. He paid for some things, you paid for some things, and there was never any agreement on his part to return any money to you. Is that your statement,
Yes,
sir?
Your Honor.
All right. When did you begin dating the defendant?
In September 2000.
And when do you claim the first loan was?
September 18th was the first one.
Tell me about that.
I went to my ATM machine. My friend Angela was with me, and we withdrawed $400 from my account, and I went into my overdraft to do this. Then,
What did you take out the $400 for?
Because Steve asked to borrow money from me, and he said that he needed it to buy some clothes, pay off some warrants that he had.
This was within days of meeting him, is
Correct.
that right? And?
Angela was with me, and we met Steve there, and I handed Steve the money, and I told him that it had to be paid back within 30 days, because that is how long I have to pay off my overdraft with my bank.
Does that sound familiar to you, sir? No, listen to me.
Yes,
Yes, Your Honor.
Look right here.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you, in fact, take $400 from the plaintiff?
Yes, Your Honor.
And was that within days of meeting her?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's pretty nasty.
Well, Your Honor.
So what did you need the money for?
Basically, she told me, Your Honor, that she would give me the money.
I didn't ask you that. I said,
sorry.
what did you need the money for?
Not anything specific. She voluntarily gave me the money.
That's not true, Your
Just
Honor.
a second. You're irritating me.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
How old are you?
31.
I'm older. There is a certain life experience that one develops as one gets older. And do you know what that life experience is, Mr. Collins?
No, Your Honor.
Well, I'm going to try to explain it to you because you appear to be an intelligent man, maybe a little amoral, but intelligent. People met each other, they're dating casually. The issue of $400 usually doesn't come up unless one of them says to the other, I'm falling behind a little in some of my bills, or I have some pressing financial problem. Can you help me out? It usually doesn't happen the other way. The gal saying to you, by the way, after we leave the movie, I want you to tell me whether or not you have any financial problems that you'd like me to help you out with. You got me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now, so during this brief period of dating, you must have told Miss Lee that you were having some financial problems.
She voluntarily, like I said, voluntarily gave me the money.
Collins,
Yes, Your Honor.
pay attention to my question.
Okay.
Get off your script. Do you understand?
Yes.
At what point did you tell her that you were having financial difficulties?
I neither told her I was having financial difficulties. Didn't tell her whatsoever I was having financial difficulties.
How many days did you know her before you took this $400 from her?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the
How
question?
many days did you know her before you took the $400 from her? I speak English.
I'm sorry. I knew her, it was at least a month before she gave me the money. At least a month.
You met in September.
Yes, yes. Your
September 18th, she makes a withdrawal.
Honor. To my record, I don't have the correct.
You have the
dates.
withdrawal?
I do.
slip. May I see it, please?
Yes.
You know, he is not a testament to your good judgment.
It's the first.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
All right.
You're right.
All right. When was the next loan that you made to him, Miss Lee?
It was shortly after that. I believe we went shopping, and he just asked me to help him buy some clothes because his clothes were all in Colorado, and a friend had stolen them from his storage unit. And he said that he didn't really have any clothes, and so I felt bad for him. And so we went to the store and bought him some clothes.
Just a second. That's not a loan.
Well, he asked me if I would buy him the clothes, and he said that he would pay me back.
Did you expect to get paid back, Miss Lee?
At the beginning, I did. But as I got further into the relationship, I realized I was never going to get paid back.
Right. And you continued to buy him these things.
Well, I did stop it at one point, and that's why we are no longer together.
I understand. But you continued to buy him the things anyway.
Correct.
Did you buy your own clothes?
I do, Your Honor.
Are you disputing the fact that she bought you clothes?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not, Your Honor.
What'd you buy her? Just, I'm curious.
Well, I have money and...
No.
I'm okay. Okay, let me... Okay.
Did you listen to my question?
Yes, Your Honor.
What did you buy her?
Basically, movies, dinner, etc.
Your Honor,
No,
that's not
there are
true.
no et ceteras.
Okay.
There are no et ceteras. What else did you buy her?
That's basically it. Just movies and dinner. And she did this out of her own goodwill. I neither told her I would pay her back or anything.
Just a second.
Okay.
I didn't ask you anything else. I asked you what you bought her.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Miss Lee, you don't get paid for acting foolish. You do get paid for $400. That you get paid for. Because I know, and you know, Mr. Charming here knows, that he told you he was in financial difficulty, which is the only reason an otherwise intelligent woman would go into overdraft to give him the $400. And unless you had some really serious way of putting back that money, it seems only logical that he said to you at the beginning of your relationship, not to worry, I'll give it back to you before you have to make your first payment on your overdraft. As far as all of these things go, with the exception of a couple of things, you say you gave him another $200 in cash.
Correct.
What was that for?
I don't know what exactly it was for. He just told me that he needed to get some supplements or his weight training or something along those lines, and he asked me if he could borrow the money again, and I told him yes.
But he hadn't given you the money back yet from the 18th.
Correct. Well, he told me that he was getting a job, and he still, to this day, I don't think he has one.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Jennifer Lee says ex-boyfriend Stephen Collins owes her $1,500 in loans.
So how do you earn a living, Mr. Collins?
I was working custodian at the University of Utah while going to school, Your Honor.
How much do you earn?
$7 an hour, Your Honor.
What did you need the $200 for that you took from her?
I don't recall her giving me $200, Your Honor.
You don't?
No.
I'm sure you did. But I'm satisfied with the $400. I'm not satisfied that he owes you any money for clothes. That comes under the category of think better next time. And I see also you've got here some dinners and some other stuff. He said, you pay for it, I'll pay you back. Famous last words. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She lied repeatedly about me telling her I would pay her back any money.
I didn't want anybody to know that they could just use me and abuse me and get away with it, and that's basically what he did.
And now the next case.
All parties on Miranda versus Beliso. Step forward, please.
60-year-old taxi cab driver Margot Miranda is suing her son, 38-year-old computer-aided drafter Anthony Beliso, for the balance on a computer and an unpaid credit card bill.
Miss Miranda, the defendant is your son?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's your claim that he owes you a whole bunch of money for credit card bills and other sundry things. How old are you, sir?
I'm 38, Your Honor.
Can you tell me first why you would bring your son to court?
Well, I'm not happy to do this, Your Honor. Our relationship turned sour, and he stopped paying.
You got him a duplicate card on your account?
On the American Express, I did. On the Comp USA, I opened an account on the day that he and I both bought a computer.
You bought a computer, he bought a computer?
Yeah, on
is that
the
right,
same
sir?
day.
So
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay. How much was your computer?
It was approximately $2,600.
And have you been diligent in making payments on that?
The agreement was that after that she paid off her computer that I would start paying payments on mine.
Is that right?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Did you pay yours off?
I did, and plus $1,000 interest.
Okay. When did you pay yours off?
October '98.
Did you start to make the
I
payments?
started making payments, Your Honor.
And what happened?
I've continually made payments until the day she asked me to move out of her house.
Okay. When was that?
It was back in February.
How much do you still owe on the computer?
I don't believe that I owe anything on the computer, Your
Why
Honor.
not?
When she left to go visit my grandmother in Seattle, she demanded money from me, which I paid her at $275 a week, and that covered the computer.
And how many of those payments did you make?
I made payments to approximately $2,600, Your Honor.
Show me. Who are you?
I'm Roger Mayoser. I'm a witness for the plaintiff.
Step up.
Your Honor, when my friend Margot went to Seattle, she asked me to collect the money from Tony.
Money for the computer?
Not just for the computer, but for room and board as well. Well, I didn't know the full extent of all of his bills. All I understood was that there was a computer, and she mentioned something more, but I didn't know what it was, and she had to leave right away.
How long was she away?
Approximately 6 weeks.
Do you have any proof of payments for me? Say, let's start with the 6-week periods.
Yes, I have some canceled checks, Your Honor.
Can I see them, please? No, I'm not going to look through all those checks, sir.
These are the dates that I wrote down, and then here are the...
Okay, let me take a look and see what he's got. Let me take a look at those, please.
They're in here?
Yes.
I know you have a list here, signed blank checks to Marco. In what amount? Were they ever cashed? Were they ever not cashed?
When I was in Seattle, there was a problem with one of the payments was late. She was very upset. So to alleviate the problem of it ever happening again, I gave her a stack of signed checks to which she would tell me what the bill was, and then she would write them and then send them off.
Well, did you ever get the checks returned?
The bank kept the checks, and they've been destroyed. They don't keep the records of them.
How am I supposed to determine, even if I believed you, in what amount these checks are?
I have no way of proving that.
Let me see how much is left on the Comp card and on the American Express card, please. You did receive a certain amount of money, minimally for 6 weeks, from your son towards the computer. Is that correct?
No, that was the American Express, his share of what he charged on the American Express. The computer he was making payments on from Seattle.
I'm not looking through all of these things. Would you please tell me, does he owe any money left on the computer?
Yes, he does, Your Honor.
Have you gotten any letter from the credit card company that he still owes money on the computer?
He made payments every month on the computer, but he made the minimum amount due, which is around $60 a month.
So what?
So I paid my computer off in a year. I expected him at least to, when I sent the bill to him, I advised him to make as much of a payment as he could each month.
All right, Ms. Miranda, but that was not your agreement. Let me explain something to you. You have to have an agreement with him to do that. Your agreement with your son was, when I finish paying off mine, you'll start paying off yours. And according to you, he has in fact made at least his minimum payments on the computer. Is that right?
Yes, that's right, right up until the time he decided he didn't owe anymore and that he stopped paying.
When was that?
February 2000.
Is that right?
Your Honor, I was living with Margot. She put me out the house. When she put me out the house, I did not have first, I did not have last. I'm living in a hotel room, trying to make it through and trying to come up right now. I would have been happy to continue paying Margot the money that I promised her, but she was so mean towards me that I thought my best bet would be to stay as far away from her as I could.
What does that have to do with this debt that you owed her, sir?
What it has to do with it is I cannot communicate with her.
Well, you don't have to
given me-
communicate with her, communicate with me. You have an agreement. You can't just stop paying when you move out.
I did not just stop paying when I moved out, Your Honor.
So how much do you owe on the computer?
I feel that I owe nothing.
How much does the company feel that you owe on the computer?
You'll have to ask Margot.
How
She
much
gets
does the
bill.
company feel that he owes on the computer?
$2,600.
Let me see.
Where do we put it?
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Sure.
I never asked for this computer. She offered it to me. She said
No,
she felt that I
was,
deserved
please,
this
you had an agreement. You acknowledged to me that you had an agreement with her that you would pay your computer as soon as she finished paying off hers. Don't backtrack.
What?
We think the folder with the highlighted stuff is in the bag in the
Well,
back.
get it, because I have to see exactly what. Here, just
I'll
a
be right.
second. This Comp USA, 26/18/98.
That's his.
All right. Now, what about the American Express bill, sir?
The deal was when I got it that my charges for the month should be paid by the end of the month. And I've had that card for what, 3-4 years? And for all that time, I've always made my payments on time.
Is that right?
No, Your Honor. His share of the sign and travel account, which is a monthly payment, you can pay as much as you can on the sign and travel. And Tony seems to have forgotten the times where amount due this month is $515 or it's $912.
Why didn't you just cancel the card? Miss Miranda, there
Because
is absolutely no way.
He was making some of the payments, but
You are his mother. If it was becoming too complicated with your son to handle his credit, then what you do is you say, go get your own credit card, you pay off this balance, but you don't let him continue to charge on your credit, which I see he continued to do.
Well, I trusted him, Your Honor.
No court is going to
keep
help
his
you
word
with that,
to me.
Miss Miranda. You're his mother. You're supposed to be smart, first. Second, if it's getting out of hand, you're supposed to stop it immediately. Immediately. You don't come to court with a child and then say to a court, listen, you fix it. This is my adult child. I let him get bills up to the eyeballs. You give me an order against him, and then I will pay off the credit card company. It doesn't work that way, Miss Miranda. It doesn't work that way. Don't be foolish. What?
After Tony moved back in and was asked to leave, he continued to make charges on the credit card. He
No,
was
he
asked-
doesn't have to continue to make charges. All she has to do is she's the primary. She calls up the credit card company and she says, close the account.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah.
We did call the credit card company, and the credit card company couldn't just close the account. They had to put a stolen report on it to get the credit card back.
Just
So
a second. That's not true. You write a letter to the credit card company and you say, I am withdrawing my authorization on this credit card number, or I'm closing the whole account. Mine too. You think the people who have children who want to stop the credit cards call and report that their children stole their credit cards? It's ridiculous. You do owe her for the computer, however, because you promised to pay it. I suggest, sir, you keep making the minimum payments on what you owe her for this American Express bill. You do owe her for the computer.
Excuse me, Your Honor. The computer is no longer in my possession.
Where is it?
She has it.
Did you take it back?
I did, Your Honor.
So that's
When
why
did
I
you take
didn't
it back?
pay, you know?
After he moved. And he
Goodbye. Listen, courts are not here to take over everybody's family problems, Miss Miranda. You have a problem with your son, you have to deal with it. You have a problem with your son, you have to deal with it. I was perfectly prepared to make an order with regard to the computer. You took it back? Why are you here?
Parties are excused. You may step out. If she on the calendar in the matter of Andrezel versus Fainal.
Thank you.
Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Ladies, have seats, please.
Mr. and Mrs. Andrezel, the defendant, Mr. Fennell, is your brother, is that correct? Your brother-in-law and now sister-in-law.
Yes, Your Honor.
According to your complaint, they were getting married, and you made an arrangement with them that they could have the wedding in your home and in your yard, and the arrangement was whatever money you spent on the wedding, they would reimburse you for. Hopefully they would get enough money from wedding gifts to reimburse you, but if not, according to you, you would have a payment plan for any deficit. You claim that they did not pay you.
Correct.
While I have an answer only from Mrs. Fennell, she says that there was never any agreement to repay you out of the wedding gifts. Is that the case?
That's the case. That's the case.
Okay. Tell me about the discussion that you had with your brother and his fiancée about the wedding.
My brother called and he said that Jessica was pregnant and they would be getting married this summer. I asked him, did he still want to have an outdoor wedding? That was always my brother's dream, was to have an outdoor wedding. He said, yes, he did, but he didn't know where he could do that. And I said, well, I would run the idea by my husband, and maybe we could do it at our home.
Well, what discussions did you have about paying the expenses of the wedding?
Originally, her dad was supposed to give her money. The wedding date was getting closer and closer. We needed to do the flowers and different things. So I told Jessica that we could still go shopping for the flowers, and that when her dad gave her the money, she could pay me back. So we went shopping and we bought all of the flowers. She picked them all out, and I made the arrangements. At that day at the store, she made a comment in line about, you know, how much money she was going to owe us for all of this. And I said, don't worry, I've got all the receipts, you know, we'll take care of it when everything's done, you know, when you get your money from your dad. It was a few weeks later that she had told us again that her dad had not given her the money that he had said he would give her. My brother was over, and he was looking at the menus for the caterer, and he said he didn't know what they were going to do because the only money that they would have at this point would be from wedding gifts. I spoke with Joe that evening. I called my brother back, and I told him that we could loan him the money for the caterer and that we fully expected the day after the wedding that we would be reimbursed.
Okay, how much was the caterer?
$1,482.92.
And your brother agreed with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
2 days before the wedding, I received a phone call at my home from their DJ. He was calling me to inform us that he would not be able to DJ their wedding. This was 2 or 3 days before the wedding. And my brother asked me, would I help him find a DJ? One of the DJs that I called another DJ, and they called me back. My brother agreed to go ahead and hire this DJ. The problem was that their original DJ was in the neighborhood of $250. The DJ that agreed to do their wedding on such short notice was much more. He was $750. So my brother said, I don't have the money, and I won't have the money until Saturday. At that point, I said, well, we're already loaning you the money for the caterer. We can go ahead and loan you the money for the DJ.
Okay,
and we'll take care of it. And then I also have a contract for that DJ.
Okay, I
that
believe
has
you.
my brother's signature on it.
Oh, it does have your brother's signature.
Yes, ma'am.
And her signature, yes, ma'am.
Can I see it, please? Okay, so now we have the DJ and the caterer.
Right. Did you want a copy of the receipt for the caterer?
Sure.
Okay. That's the original receipt.
Okay.
I'd also like to point out that my brother did pick the menu items on the caterer. The food that was served was what he picked.
Okay. What's next?
There was two portable toilets.
How much was that?
That was $140. I have receipts for that.
Can I see what you have, please?
Yes, ma'am. I'll just give you everything.
Have the agreement from Action Rental for rental services, cups, tablecloths, the tent. You did have a tent, didn't you?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
There were actually 2 tents, Your Honor.
So that the entire rental was $336. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. Now, what happened the day of the wedding?
Well, 2 days prior to the wedding, I received a phone call from my brother, and he said that Jessica was upset over the DJ. And I said, I don't know what else to do. You know, you agreed to it last night. We've signed this contract, sent it on. The guy has my credit card number. This is what we agreed to.
Right.
And she was at work. There was no way to contact her.
Okay, so you had an agreement with your brother. So he told you he was upset about it.
Right. And in the background, I could hear her screaming and yelling obscenities at me and calling me foul names. I told my brother that I was very upset by this, and we have done nothing but open our home to Jessica. It's my brother's wife, the mother of his child. We've never been anything but nice to her. And to have her say those things about me was heartbreaking. And at the time, she was driving one of our vehicles. And I said, if that was the attitude that she was going to take with me, then I expected the return of our vehicle, and that I expected an apology. I mean, what she said was just, it was wrong, and it was rude, and I expected an apology. And Jessica called me, and she said she was very stressed about, she was having trouble with her pregnancy. We talked about that for about an hour. She apologized for what she had said about me, and everything was fine.
So you got to the wedding? Had
Yes.
the wedding at your house?
Yes.
What happened with the gifts? They got wedding gifts.
The gifts were on the back porch, and her grandmother asked me to take the gifts inside to ensure that the gifts were safe. We put the cards in our office, and we figured they would be safe there and fine until the next day when, you know, they were to come back and open them and help clean up.
So what happened?
Everyone had left for the evening, except some friends of ours were staying. My brother was passed out in one of our spare bedrooms. It's not funny. Jessica was still there, and Patrice was also there with her children. I was out back. Everyone was packing up. It was about midnight. And Jessica wanted to take my brother home for the evening. And she asked me, could I unlock the house? And I said, Jessica, I don't have a key. And she said, and I'll quote, and I hate to use this language, but she said, what do you mean you don't have a key to your own house?
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Joseph and Kimberly Andrezel say Kimberly's brother, Keith Fano, and his wife, Jessica, owe the money they loaned the couple for their wedding.
Okay, go ahead.
And at that point, I still had my gown on. And I said, Jessica, where am I going to put it? I don't have a key. Joe has pockets. You need to go talk to Joe. So she found Joe, and at that point, the two of them went in the house.
I'll pick it up from here. Jessica, Patrice, her maid of honor, and myself, we went in the house to find Keith. He was still in the same state that we left him. They kind of half-roused him, got him stood up, and walked him out to the car. After they got him to the car, they came back in, and Jessica started asking me where the gift cards were. And, I just told her, I said, they're safe, they're in the back room, we'll take care of it tomorrow. And in my mind, I knew full well that Keith was going to come back and help us take the tent down and pack tables up and chairs and stuff like that. I really didn't want anything to happen to it. There was a lot of money there. We were both concerned about it. I mean, we obviously had something riding on it. And I said, we'll just take care of it tomorrow.
Right, and she said?
She got very belligerent. I won't quote exactly, but there was a lot of F words flying. She was very belligerent. Patrice was belligerent. And I basically told the two of them, I said, you know what, we need to talk about this tomorrow. We've all been drinking. There's no point in arguing about it now. There's a 4-year-old baby sleeping on the couch over here. Why don't we just discuss this in the morning when we're all in a little bit better state?
At that point, I came into the house because from the backyard, I could hear yelling. I thought they were outside because I could hear them so clearly, and he said, no, they're in the living room.
Okay, so there was a fight.
Yes, I went in to ask them to go outside. I did not want Shania to be awakened. She was sleeping on the couch, and I didn't want her to be scared. So I asked them to go outside, and they refused to leave the living room. Joe told Patrice, you don't belong here, you have nothing to do with the agreement, you need to leave. And I said, if you don't go, I will call the police. And Patrice told me that Jessica would have called the cops, and I quote, if she knew where the phone was. And I said, Patrice, Jessica knows my house just as well as anyone. She certainly knows where the phone is. If she thought she was in danger, she could have called 911. At that point, I went to get the phone, and Patrice reached out for me, and Joe grabbed onto her and lifted her off the ground and somewhat pushed
All
her
right,
out the front
bottom
door.
line is they did not get the checks that day.
No, ma'am.
Okay, and according to you, you received a telephone call from her grandmother.
Yes.
Her grandmother, the next day.
Yes.
Please give them the gift cards, whatever they owe you, I'll take care of.
I also brought a copy of an email sent to me that basically states exactly what you said.
Right, okay.
I think
Okay, and then she didn't pay you.
No, ma'am.
You want them to pay.
Yeah, they paid nothing.
Good. Who's going to speak for your end?
I'll speak on most of the part because a lot of it he wasn't even there for.
Well, he was there for the agreements, Keith. Is that right?
Yes, I was.
You were there for the agreement, so let's get to the agreements. Did you, in fact, sign off on the caterer's contract and choose the menu?
I don't remember signing the contract for the caterer, it's very possible I did. There was a lot going.
You did pick the menu?
Yes.
Fine. Now, at the time when you were doing the menu, did you, in fact, have a conversation with your sister with regard to payment?
It's very possible, Your Honor.
What do you mean it's very possible?
There's been a lot going on since August, since the time of that, with the birth of my son and everything
I'm
else.
not talking about
I
since the
understand
birth
that,
of your
Your
son. I'm talking about at the time that you were planning a wedding. Your sister sounds as if she has tried to be very nice to you.
Yes.
And very nice to your then fiancé.
Yes.
Did you, in fact, discuss with your sister that whatever financial deficits there were with regard to the DJ, the caterer, flowers, the porta potties, the rental for the tents, the rental for the other things, that you would be reimbursing them for those items?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
Yes.
Fine. And we don't have to go any further. The question is, why didn't you?
That I don't really have an answer for that, Your Honor.
Well, your wife seems to have an answer for that. But you had the arrangement.
Yes.
Good. You got a couple of choices, Miss Attitude. And I have a couple of questions for you. Did your father, in fact, at first, indicate to you that he was going to send you some money for the wedding? That requires a yes or a no.
Yes, ma'am.
Did your father give you any money towards the wedding?
He gave me money way before the wedding, and I never told her.
He gave you money way before the wedding for what?
For whatever it was that I needed to purchase.
For the wedding?
Correct.
How much did he give you?
$2,000.
What did you do with it?
I spent it on tuxedo.
On other things. $2,000 isn't a tuxedo.
No, it was a lot of other things. I have receipts for a lot of it. It was for dresses for the bridesmaid or the maid of honor. There was dresses for the little flower girls. There was quite a few things. The alterations to my dress. There was a lot of things that it was paid for with that money.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
It's interesting that she brings up the bridesmaids' dresses because the day we went to purchase them, her other bridesmaid was not with us. And when I took mine to the counter, Jessica fully expected me to pay for that other dress. And I told her that I had paid for enough that day, and that's where I was drawing the line. That I was not going to pay for a dress for someone that I didn't know. The other things that I paid for, that was for my brother, and I knew that I would get that money back. But for someone that I didn't know, that's where I drew the line.
Did you at any time tell your brother's wife that you were expecting money from your father, and that money would be to cover some of the expenses for the wedding, such as the caterer, the DJ, flowers?
No, Your Honor.
You did not. So all of the financial arrangements were left to your husband.
Can I say something? As far as the entire wedding was concerned, I had no control over anything that happened. This was more Kim's wedding than my wedding.
I read that in your papers, and who cares?
I didn't want it catered, Your Honor.
Who cares? Well, your husband did.
No, he didn't.
What?
He did it to make her happy. Everything that we did for this wedding was to make her happy.
Let me explain something to you. Neither your husband nor you were forced, dragged to their backyard to have this wedding. If you didn't want to spend any money for a wedding, if you didn't want to use their backyard, get on a plane and go to Vegas, go to Wedding Chapels Incorporated and get married. You went to the wedding. Your husband participated with his sister in the selection of a DJ. He signed the contract for the DJ. He selected the menu. He agreed to pay for the incidentals because you knew you had an outside wedding. You have to have tents and chairs and porta potties. How many people were at your wedding?
I don't even know.
The RSVPs were for 80, then plus the people in the wedding. And
so about 90 people?
We had originally planned for about 100, 110. The week before the wedding, Jessica called Kim in a frantic panic and said, we need to increase the number of people that you have for the caterer. We need to increase it from 125 to 150 people.
But the RSVPs were wrong to increase the number, which increased everything else as well.
Looking over all of your receipts, the amount is pretty close to the $3,000 that you are requesting. And $3,000 to make a wedding for 90 people is certainly a bargain. You would agree with that, Keith, wouldn't you?
Yes, ma'am, I would.
Keith, let me talk to you for a minute, because I'm telling you, and I've been around, there is no talking to your wife. Have you spoken to your sister since your wedding?
A few times, Your Honor.
Was your sister there when your son was born?
No, she wasn't. I actually received a phone call the week after my son was born at my employment.
Shh. Is this your only sister?
Yes, it is.
Are you pretty close?
Yes.
Tell me about how come your wife was driving one of your sister's cars.
Our vehicle that we had was a manual transmission. And with her being pregnant, her doctor advised her not to drive a manual transmission vehicle.
So how did it come about that your sister gave her one of her cars to drive?
We were at my sister's and my brother-in-law's residence, and we were talking about it one night, and they said they had a vehicle sitting there, and they said that she could use it.
That was very nice of them.
Yes, it was.
So, Keith, you know what the divorce rate is in this country?
No.
Better than 50%. And if I were a wagering person, my friend, I would say that you're going to fall into that 50%. You're going to have your sister forever. If your wife is forcing you to make a choice between your sister and her, that's really crummy. You would agree with that, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would.
Me too.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
They did nothing but try to give you a special day. Miss Attitude over here, she cops an attitude because she wasn't involved in selecting the caterer. She opened up a big fresh mouth over the telephone. You shouldn't be placed in a position where you have to make a choice between your wife and your sister. Your sister, I'm sure, and your brother-in-law would love to see your baby, hold your baby.
He's here now, Your Honor.
And if your wife is preventing that, you're supposed to be a man. You stand up and say, you don't want to have anything to do with my sister?
That's your prerogative. I intend to have a relationship with my sister and her husband because they've been nothing but good to me. And it's Saturday afternoon. I'm taking the boy over to see my sister. And if your wife can't digest that, that's her problem. Because any time a mate unreasonably forces their mate to say it's either me or your family, unreasonably, you got to make a choice. Don't make the wrong one. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
On the calendar, the matter of Cardenas versus Montoya. Parties have been sworn in. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Miss Cardenas, were you walking your dog when this incident happened?
No, I was not. My daughter was.
This daughter?
Yes.
Okay. Would you step up, please? Tell me your name.
Hillary.
Hillary, what kind of a dog do you have?
I'm not sure. It's just a dog.
How long have you had the dog?
I got it Christmas last year.
Do you have a picture?
I do.
I'd like to see it, please. Sweet looking, small.
Small.
Hillary, so you were walking your dog, and when did this happen?
It was on April the 19th.
And are the Montoya's neighbors of yours?
Yes.
And they have a dog?
Yes.
Had you seen their dog before? Miss Montoya,
No.
put your papers down. You'd never seen their dog before?
No.
Tell me what happened when you were walking your dog.
Their dog was out by their yard, and I was walking with my dog on the other side of the street, and their dog came up and sniffed my dog and then just started biting his neck. And
What kind of a dog do they have?
A pit bull.
Is that right?
Yes.
How old is your pit bull?
About 7 years old.
And you had vet bills, according to your complaint, of approximately $1,400.
Yes.
Can I see the vet bills and whatever other evidence you have, please?
Here are pictures of the dog's injuries.
What happened when the dog came up and started to gnaw at your dog?
One of the neighbors was trying to hit it with a shovel, and everyone was telling the dog to get off, but it just wouldn't get off, and then finally it just let go.
How's he now?
Pretty good.
Okay. How long was he in the vet?
He had to go every Saturday to see the vet, and he was at the vet overnight for surgery, and then he had to be in private care for 2 days.
Okay. All right, who's going to speak for you folks?
I guess I can.
That's fine. I'd like to hear what you have to say about this, and you also have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for harassment.
Correct.
Okay. So, what was your dog doing out?
I have no clue. My husband was in the hospital at the time, and me and 3 of my children were visiting him. We were actually on our way home when the attack happened. My daughter, Natalie, was the one that was home and witnessed what had happened. I only know from the time I got home what happened.
Which one is Natalie? All right, Natalie, you were home. What's your dog's name?
Rusty.
Where was Rusty?
He was across the street on the sidewalk sniffing their dog, and then their dog had bit.
How did he get there?
I have no idea.
The dog wasn't on her leash either.
Listen to me. You were in the hospital.
But the dog wasn't on her leash.
Yes, it was.
Shh. You were in the hospital.
I know that.
Good. So if you don't know what happened, I suggest you keep your mouth shut. Now, you were the one who was home.
Yes.
Why wasn't Rusty in your house?
Because we don't allow the dogs in the house.
So your dogs are outside all the time. How many dogs do you have?
We have 2.
Are they both pit bulls?
Yes, they are.
Has Rusty ever bitten anybody?
No.
Has Rusty ever attacked another animal?
No.
Did this time? Now, Miss Montoya, what makes you think that you are not responsible for these vet bills?
Because the harassment that we had to put up with her
I'm not
children-
listening to harassment yet. I'm asking you about the vet bills. Why do you think you
Well,
were not...
because her dog was out also. It was at our end of the street. It snapped at my dog first, and my dog retaliated.
A, you don't know that. And B,
my daughter witnessed it. I do know that.
Oh, just 1 second. Your dog went across the street. That's what you just told me.
That's
Is
where
that
her
right?
dog was at.
No, listen to... I know that's where her dog was at.
On the leash, though.
Her dog was out without a leash. She was at her friend's house.
Listen to me. Did you just tell me that your dog went across the street to where her dog was?
Yes.
I'm going to take it down a level. Miss Montoya, let me explain something to you. You and I both know, and everybody knows, that a pit bull can cause a great deal of damage because of the configuration of their jaw. Correct?
Correct.
All right. You, therefore, have a responsibility that you are an insurer that your dog is not out of the control of you, your husband, your children, somebody at all times. Do we understand? Listen to me. I'm speaking. If you keep an animal that is potentially dangerous in your home, and you choose not to keep that animal in your house because you don't want it to mess up your house, you are an insurer, because your answer to this complaint is somebody must have let the dog out of the gate. Correct. And therefore it's not my fault because somebody did it. And as long as somebody did it, and it wasn't me because I'm in the hospital and my daughter doesn't know whether she is a foot or horseback, it's not my fault. Well, I'm telling you, from a legal perspective, it is your fault. You are an insurer that this dog that is potentially deadly does not get out, because it could just as easily have been a 3-year-old child that was across the street that your dog decided to attack, as opposed to a small dog that your dog decided to attack. Did you have brain surgery, sir?
Almost.
Did you have brain surgery?
Pretty much.
Well, then maybe that's the problem. Why don't you try opening up, putting on your listening ears and listen? When you keep a pit bull, you have a responsibility to ensure that that dog does not get loose. And if it does get loose, I'm speaking. And if it does get loose, you pay the consequences. So you're going to pay them $1,400 for their medical bills. Now, if you're... I'm speaking. And if your complaint is that after you refused to pay the medical bills for their dog that was injured really seriously, that their daughter decided to harass your daughter, I would have paid the $2. Do you understand?
Yes.
We never knew nothing about the bill until about a month and a half later.
Right. Carla,
we tried to contact the mother, and the mother was never available to come to the door. The daughter would say, my mom's busy, my mom's not here. So we tried a month and a half to get a hold of her. I was in a wheelchair and went down to her house to contact her, and they told me that she wasn't available.
One time.
That she wasn't available. So how were we ever supposed to communicate with the parent?
Try U.S. Postal Service. Try the U.S. Postal Service.
Like I said, my dog can go free. My dog don't bother nobody. The kids, it's never been a kid. It plays with kids all the time. So how can you sit here and tell me my dog is dangerous?
Let me tell you why, sir. Because in the last week, I have handled 3 pit bull cases.
Those are those pit bulls. Those ain't my dogs.
No, this is... Well, listen to me, sir. This is your pit bull.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Everybody else in your family may be afraid of you. I guarantee you, sir. I guarantee you, sir, I do not quiver in my boots at your presence.
You're not supposed to.
Good.
You're not supposed to.
And later today...
Unfortunately, I made a terrible mistake, and Teresa and I here had intimate relations on the first 2 nights. She was there. She slapped me across the face.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to tell the story? Go on Dr. Phil.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Carla Cardenas claims her neighbor's unleashed pit bull attacked her dog. Kathleen and Eddie Montoya claim Carla's dog was also unleashed.
You are an insurer. If you have
I see what that dog was doing way down the street without a leash in front of my house in the first place.
It had 9 houses away.
Listen to me. You're never going to get anywhere. He's never going to get it.
I do get it. I understand both dogs were not unleashed.
Listen to me. It's sad, but he's never going to get it. His wife appears to be slightly more intelligent. Not necessarily her, but the wife appears to be slightly more intelligent, and perhaps she can get the fact that when you have an animal, you have a responsibility to see... I didn't speak to you. I'm speaking to your wife. Be quiet. Everybody else in your family may be afraid of you. I guarantee you, sir. I guarantee you, sir, I do not quiver in my boots at your presence.
You're not supposed to.
Good.
You're not supposed to.
You have a responsibility to see to it that no harm comes to any other living creature, human or otherwise, as a result of your animal. And you chose to leave your dog outside
A small child may have come by and opened up the gate, may have unhooked the lock. That's possible. That's not an act of God. That's something that you are responsible for. And between you paying the $1,400 for the vet bill and them paying $1,400 for the vet bill, the responsibility is yours. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,400. And I assume that if you had taken care of this responsibility immediately, there wouldn't have been any harassment that resulted. So your counterclaim
Harassment started
dismissed.
before we
That's
got
all.
the paperwork.
Out.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
That little dog snapped at my dog. My dog just getting aggressive. Say, if somebody punched you in the face, you're gonna punch him back, right?
I'm glad, because my dog was really badly hurt.
Her kids come by flipping us off and flipping off the neighbors, and you know, it's a bunch of nonsense, chaos.
Every time the dad would see me walking down the street, he would tell his daughter to go beat me up, and I'd always just try to walk away.
They were telling us to hit them, so we ended up hitting them. They were all up in our face and stuff, so we're gonna do what we had to do.
It wasn't just over my dog, it was over a lot of things.
My daughters have been in fights with other neighborhood children, and her oldest daughter, they physically fought, and it's just a mess.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Hirsch versus Wirtz, turn up. Step forward.
Writer Randy Hirsch is suing his ex-roommates, art director Teresa Wirtz and student Krista Turner for vandalizing their home by writing on the walls with crayons. Randy also claims the women slandered him.
Mr. Hirsch, you rented a house. You were going through what I gather was an acrimonious divorce.
Mm-hmm.
You ended up in the house alone. Why are you smiling? That's not a happy thing. No. Acrimonious divorce is not a happy thing. And you decided to rent rooms to sort of make up the rent. You rented the rooms to these two young ladies at different times. I assume you didn't know each other? And then you got evicted from the house. And
Correct.
You claimed that you told them that they had to leave. They stayed on after you moved out, caused damage to the house that you were going to be responsible for. And in addition, you had to spend hours and hours cleaning up after them. So you want to be compensated for the damage that they did to the house. The defendants say that you caused a substantial amount of damage to the house yourself, your daughter, who you allowed to write all over the wall with crayons. They do acknowledge, however, which is to their credit, that they were really angry with you for what they perceived as scamming them. And when they did stay on, they did cause a little damage by writing on walls and maybe doing a couple of other little things. Certainly not $2,500 worth. So I have a few questions for you, Mr. Hirsch.
Okay.
When did you lease this house?
In August of 2003.
What was the rent?
$2,400 a month plus utilities.
Did you live there with your family?
Yes.
When did they move out?
They moved out at sometime around May 15th.
When did you rent to either of these two young ladies?
I rented the room to Krista on August 14th, and I was not completely honest with her, Your Honor.
Just a second. August 14th, and what rent were you charging her?
$650 a month.
When did you rent it to this young lady?
September 14th.
What's your first name, Ms. Wirtz?
Teresa.
What were you charging Teresa in rent?
$650.
Now, you started to say that you were not completely honest.
Correct.
With one of them or both of
Both.
them? In what regard weren't you completely honest?
I had been struggling to try to save the house and had fallen a couple of months behind with the owner. I'm a struggling writer, and my income diminished, and I fell a little bit behind. And finally, I got a eviction notice sometime in the first week or two of September.
So by the time you rented to Teresa, you had already gotten your first eviction notice.
I got I received a couple.
By the time
yes.
you rented to Teresa, you had already put everything down. I'm very smart. I'm getting the story. Did you pay August's rent to the landlord?
No.
Although you had received her $650.
Yes.
What about September's rent? Did you pay September's rent? And that is despite the fact that you had received her $650.
Yes.
Did either young lady give you any security deposit?
No.
Yes.
How much did you give him?
By August 15th, I had given him $1,600, which was to pay for rent until November 15th.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
How much of that did you return to her?
Zero.
When I moved out, I owed her $650, and the day that I moved out, I offered her a check for $600, and she threw it on the ground.
Now, how did you find out that he was evicted?
By him on September 20th, letting me know that we were going to be evicted on September 30th.
And how did you find out, Teresa, that you were going to be evicted?
The same way.
And when did you move out, Mr. Hirsch?
I moved out on the 24th of September with all my stuff.
Stuff that he had rented to us. Like, we were using the couch, we were using the TV, we were using all the facilities there, and he got up and left.
It was including the utilities. He moved out
shut off
without letting us know, and so we stayed there.
Mr. Hirsch, what would you like me to do for you today, sir?
When I had a very expensive entertainment system, Your Honor, and unfortunately I made a terrible mistake, and Teresa and I here had intimate relations on the first 2 nights that we moved, that she was there. On the 3rd night, my daughter came for visitation. I only have her on the weekends. She was criticizing the way I was raising my daughter. I told her to mind her own business. She's never been married. She doesn't have kids of her own. She slapped me across the face.
Listen to me. Listen to me. You want to tell this story? Go on Dr. Phil. I asked you a simple question. Okay. I said, what do you want me? I'm a judge. I'm not a therapist. You want a therapist? Go hire a therapist. What do you want me, the judge, to do for you today?
They completely covered every wall in the house with graffiti.
Yes.
I got the bill from the repairman and the handyman. The actual bill is $3,800.
Yes.
And then last night I spoke with the handyman, and he says, and also the owner, that they forgot to include the stolen drapes of $600 in this bill. The drapes were also stolen.
Just a second. Did anybody steal any drapes?
No, ma'am. We actually have...
The drapes were stolen.
Mr. Hirsch, I'm going to tell you that I think that you have real chutzpah. You defraud these 2 young ladies by taking their money, knowing full well that you are not using their money towards rent. And then when they may, and they acknowledge that they behave badly, you say, they can't do that to me. They can't stick me with a bill from the landlord. Do I look as if I need any help from you? So there's an old doctrine, sir, and that is the doctrine of clean hands. When you come into a court of equity, that's this court, we try to do the right thing. You're supposed to come in with clean hands. You're not supposed to have done anything wrong, because this is not a case where I'm going to compare wrongs. Well, you defrauded them, and they reacted, and how much am I going to attribute, to ascribe to each wrong? The initial sin was yours. You took their money under false pretenses, thousands of dollars. You did not use the thousands of dollars to pay for what they expected you to pay for, which was rent, so that they wouldn't be evicted. And all the time you knew that you were going to get thrown out on your behind. Don't come into court and ask for any favors, sir. You're not going to get any here. Your case is dismissed.
Thank you.
Excuse me,